I am. Um, Getting home a little bit later than what I normally do, but I've seen this a lot on TikTok, and I want to have a conversation, a respectful conversation. I want to have a conversation because I've seen this a lot, and I haven't been joining other people's lives, so I don't know if there's some type of issue going on with different panels or a panelist or whatever the case may be. Not sure. I'm allowing people to air their grievance out. I'm allowing people to say what's on their mind. But what I've seen is a lot of people are having issues. There's been a lot of lives today that say foundational Black Americans, which is what FBA means, foundational Black Americans, are being divisive, are causing division among the diaspora. They're saying that foundational Black Americans are alt-right, and that Black Americans in general, and when they say foundational Black Americans, they just mean Black Americans. That's just what it means. That's just what it is. They're saying that Black Americans are turning into a very alt-right cultish thing, and that we're sounding like Black MAGA and all of that stuff. And I'm asking everybody, what is everybody's issue with Black Americans? What is everybody's issue with foundational Black America? I'm allowing people to say what's on their mind, whether you're FBA or not. I mean, because what I see, and I'm going to give you my take on it just real quick, and then you guys can come up and say what you guys need to say. What I feel is that there's been a lot of other groups, other ethnicities that's benefited. Hold on, let's just mute your mic. I hear a background noise. There's been a lot of other groups and other ethnicities that's benefited from FBA fighting for them, advocacy. And I'm not just talking about the diaspora. I'm talking about as far as all immigrants are concerned necessarily, right? And all other groups of people are concerned. Everybody's benefited. Everybody's been kind of eating off our plate, if I could use that metaphor. Everybody's been eating off the plate of foundational Black Americans. And now all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, now you see Black America, we're just stop fighting for everybody. You know, we're focusing on ourselves and our community, and other groups of people have been having a lot of issues in the last couple years or so. And a lot of these other people have been wondering where we are when it comes to these issues and these movements. Have you been seeing there's been movement left and right, protests left and right, and a lot of these protests are like kind of a one and done thing. They had a national No King's Day thing. Nobody's talking about that, and that was supposed to be some big, huge nationwide protest that nobody seems to care about. Nobody seems to mention. Nobody seems to be discussing whatsoever. And that's because of the lack of energy and presence of FBA. That's because Black America is just not attending anymore. Our focus and our direction is on other things, which is allowing these other people to kind of deal with their own issues. And these people are kind of lashing out because their success rate, hold on, okay. Remind me to block you. Their success rate, you know what I'm saying, is not like how it should be. It's not like how it should be. Actually, hold on, let me see something. Let me just block this person real fast. Okay. We don't need that. Okay, there we go. So that's my take on it. That is my take on that. That is my take on it. I'm allowed and I do want to get, let me see. Normally I have a mod. My mod BX is here. She might be a couple minutes late, but we're already kind of late, so we're not going to get too started. We're not going to be too long. I said get too started. We're not going to be too long. We're getting started, so we're going to get started. Hopefully BX shows up soon. It is kind of late, so it is on me. Shout out to BX though. It is on me. It's on me. But we'll go in order. So what we'll do, we allow people to come up. People get to come up, and then as you guys are coming up, you know, for the context of the conversation, BX is in another live. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, BX been busy all day. BX always be standing on business, handling business. Okay, that's cool. state your race and ethnicity for context, because if we're having a conversation about an ethnic group or an ethnic problem, and people from outside the ethnicity comes in, they're going to have oftentimes a different history and a different angle, different political perspective on those things. So if you're a black American, you can say that. If you're black and you're Jamaican, you can say that. Black Nigerian, whatever the case is, race and ethnicity is not the same thing. All right. When you come up, whatever the case is, mute your mic and you will be called on. And when you're called on, you will be able to speak. Okay. We're respectful here. We allow everybody, whether you agree or disagree, to speak. Don't be cutting people off. Keep it TikTok friendly. Keep it TikTok friendly, okay? Don't be saying anything that's gonna get us strikes or bans, or don't be, saying the triple K or all that stuff. You guys know TikTok language, all right? For the people who are trolling, act like they don't know what FBA is, you shouldn't be in this live then, I guess. All right? So we'll get to Diamond. Diamond, you got it. You can go ahead.
Hi host, my name, I'm black. You said race and age?
No, ethnicity.
Or yeah, black and I'm American.
Okay. Okay.
So I was just on another live where, so I was just on another live where, clearly they were labeling us as a eight group. I'm trying to like censor my words, and they was antagonizing us the whole live, and it's just crazy to me because every other community got their own anti-blackness, but for some reason they're not categorized as hate groups. So
Mm.
this is crazy to me, but I'm happy that black people in general are waking up, and we're seeing the divide, and we're seeing what other groups are about and how they're full of BS. This is why I voted the way that I voted. It's exactly why I voted the way I voted. Y'all all gotta go. Y'all all gotta go. Okay? Y'all have thrown us under the bus, okay, for so long. We have taken disrespect from y'all. And this is why I voted the way I voted. And even Trump said the birthright citizenship was not for you. It was not meant for you. So you gotta go. Pack your bags and you gotta go. I don't have no sympathy towards these other groups, these other immigrants. Y'all all gotta go. Haitians, Caribbeans, Africans, y'all all gotta go. And the Hispanics too.
I mean, well, I gotta say we've been out here, we've been marching for everybody, fighting for everybody, advocating for everybody, and the reciprocity has not been given back. No reciprocity. You know what I'm
No.
saying? And this is what a lot of people are upset with. A lot of people are saying, okay, if this is how everybody's gonna respond to us, what we're gonna do is focus on ourselves, really, for the first time ever. So all of these other groups of people, they're having their issues now, and we're kind of just being very, I would say, not kind of just indifferent about it.
But host,
Okay.
respectfully, what's going on? What does this have to do with us though? Respectfully, what's going on? This is an illegal issue. What's going on? What does that have to do with us? They came here, some of them came here illegally. So now they're paying the price. What does that have to do with us? We are American. What does that have to do with us? That's why Trump said the birthright citizenship, it was meant for the slaves. That's what he said. He didn't say that it was meant for immigrants. He never said that. And that's what it was intended for. It wasn't meant for y'all. Y'all
He's
gotta
an
go.
immigrant. Trump's an immigrant.
Hold on, you can't you're gonna be able to speak, man, but you gotta wait your turn. There's other people who want to wait. I mean, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I gotta agree. You know, we're not sitting up there fighting for everybody to really exploit us and exploit the sacrifices that we've made and our ancestors put forth. But thank you. I want to get to some other people real quick. We're gonna allow Naza Keeper, if that's how you pronounce your name.
Yeah, Nia, is it okay if I hear some more perspectives before I answer?
Okay, all right then. Then we'll Let me see. Shady. I'll let Shady go.
Yo, I'm Somali, so black and Somali, but born in
Okay.
the United States, raised in the United States.
Okay.
And with me, man, I just want to say I'm gonna make my position pretty clear first. I am someone who's a hardcore supporter of Malcolm X, Fred Thomas, the Black Panther movement. I am just not a fan of today's culture in the African American community.
Okay.
I think there's I'll make it quick. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I think it's a psyop. I think it was done on purpose. I think the government and what it pulled off in the 90s with the crack epidemic in the 80s.
You
A
can't
lot.
say that word on
Oh,
TikTok.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The sea epidemic, is that better?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So the sea epidemic and with what happened in the 90s and destroying the nuclear family. What I see today, though, is a community that is very.
What happened?
I'm sorry, I had a. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it short on that.
Wait, we didn't. No, I didn't get to hear what you said. You kind of broke
Oh, you
up.
didn't hear me. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm today's FBA, the movement itself.
Hmm.
Everything Black Lives Matter and after, I'm just totally not with. I don't. I think there's bigger issues that need to be fixed inside that community
Mm.
before worrying about the like external issues. You know what I mean? So that's
Not
my.
really. What issues do you
Well,
think
the hip hop
we
culture,
focus on? We shouldn't focus on.
the toxic push from the media that being a single mother is cool. This idea of the hatred between African American women and men and the way you guys treat each other compared to when you look at it during Malcolm X's time,
Mm.
during the nuclear family. I mean, it's disgusting. That's my opinion on the current situation. So
That's
that's.
interesting. Okay.
I
And
hope that things go back
do you
to
think
a.
we should be? So you think there's an issue between black men and women, right? What issues do you think we should be focusing on?
Number one, bro, I think this is just an opinion, by the way.
Hmm.
I think hip hop culture needs to be totally eradicated
Oh,
and
okay.
destroyed.
Okay.
Of course, you have a few. Yes, Kendrick, you have a few, but if hip hop culture was totally eradicated,
Hmm.
if black people stood up against these this degenerate mentality that comes from the music industry, that comes from the media, that comes
No,
from
let's go.
this idea they're pushing it on young people. It's the truth. These are not role models. These people are the worst people on the planet for African Americans. It's a fact. It's
Okay.
disgusting.
Okay.
And Malcolm X would agree with me, and most of those who are black nationalists would agree with me. And I think another problem is this idea of dating outside of your own race. I think black men and black women need to start uniting, dating each other, and disowning this entire culture totally,
Okay.
becoming a
Well,
nationalistic as you guys
okay.
once were.
Okay. 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 Well, let's say, well, for the very most part, almost totally, damn near, black men and black women do date and marry each other. So that the whole the where people are blowing the thing up of black people and dating outside their race, people make spaces and lives about that for the most part. And you see, I don't really even engage in that because for the most part, that doesn't really happen that often. For the most part. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think Somalia should be a good role model for FBA? And the state of Somalia right now and the Somalian people should be a good role model?
Well, the state of the Somali people, the history is long. If you're talking about today and the government today,
Yeah, yeah,
the
today.
Somali people today, well, it is its own country at the end of the day.
Just because if you're gonna come and criticize the culture, do you think that the
Oh yeah,
Somalian culture is the culture we
our
should be
culture,
replicating?
our culture. If you guys were to replicate parts of our culture, you guys would take over the United States.
Okay, why aren't you in Somalia then?
Well, the Somalia, there's tribal warfare. There's government issues. Countries invaded our
If it's
nation, right?
tribal warfare, hold on. If it's tribal warfare, I think that's a cultural issue, don't you think?
No, I
I
said
mean,
part. I didn't say
that
take
shouldn't be
our culture. Total. I didn't
that
say take our
no
culture.
that shouldn't be replicated. Let's not uh pick out all of the good and then leave.
But
No,
you
no,
said
you
I
gotta take
said
the
part though, bro.
whole. No,
I
brother, you
said
gotta
part.
take
I
the
didn't
whole
say
thing
whole.
now.
I never said whole.
Okay, well, here's the thing. You can't come up here and, cherry pick parts of our culture and then the bad parts, the parts that you want to criticize, and then when it comes to the Somalian culture, you want to highlight what you feel are good. You got to take the whole thing.
It's the way you, it's the way
Good
you
or bad.
question. I can tell you bad things in my culture too.
Yeah, okay,
List them
but
up too,
you
if you
didn't
want me
come
to.
here. You didn't come here. You're in America, and you came here, and you
I
had.
talk about the bad things in Somalia all the time, bro. All the
Okay,
time.
no, well,
All the time.
I'm not saying that you do or don't. I don't know if you do or don't. But
I
you
do. I
came in
do.
this space. This is my first time interacting with you. You came in this space, and you were critical of our culture and things that happen in our culture, saying that you dislike the state of Black America and what we're doing as a people
I said
today. And
today,
how,
though.
yeah, that
Today.
is, brother, that is what you. I'm being very respectful. That's the energy you came off with. That's what you came off here and said. And I'm all like, okay, well, if we compare that, juxtapose that to Somalia, should we be more like them? And you like some parts. No, it's got to be all. Should we be more like them?
Like 1985 Somalia, yes,
No,
100%.
but we're not in 1985. We're in
Well, I
2025.
complimented. Remember, and when I came in, I told you I have an entire wallpaper of African American heroes. I'm saying what I'm trying to say is I'm comparing
But
the legends, the people who I totally agree with from beginning to end, right?
okay,
And
yeah.
so I'm
But you
critiquing things
but
that are
but you
very
did
easy to
that.
see.
You did that. And I will give you your credit for that because you did do that. And then you tried to make a separation by saying that the current generation is not like the previous generation. So
I
yeah,
did
you
say
can
that,
bring
yeah.
up Malcolm X and you can bring up the Black Panthers and all of that stuff. You can bring that up, but then you further went to separate the current generation and our current culture from the culture we had in the civil rights movement. You did that. You said if we was to treat each other as if we was to treat each other the same as we did in the civil rights movement, we would be different.
Well, no, I
So
didn't say civil
you're
rights.
saying the
I
culture.
said
Hold on. You're saying the culture today. You're
to
saying
today,
our
yeah.
culture today is something that is unproductive, that is degenerate. You said
Yes,
that word,
I did say that,
degenerate,
yeah.
destructive, and something that the children shouldn't look up to. So if that's the case, should the children look up to the culture of Somalia?
Compared to the degeneracy I see from the hip hop culture, yes, 100%.
Okay, so hip hop culture is worse than tribal war.
Hip hop culture, without a shadow of a doubt, in every aspect of it, and what is perpetuated by the media, which is pushed by certain white people. I'm not going to sit here and blame. I know who it's pushed by. I'm not going to talk about that on your life. I'm going to respect your life.
Okay.
That part of the culture, if it were to be disowned and denounced, you guys would run the
Is
United States.
okay. Can you answer the question with a yes or no? Is hip hop culture worse
Yes,
than
it's worse,
tribal?
much worse,
It's
much
worse than
worse,
tribal war.
much worse.
Then
And
why
I
are
can
you not
explain
in
why.
Somalia? Why are you not in Somalia then?
Somalia went through an actual war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys in a war? Have you guys ever been through a war, an actual war?
Yes, yes, we've
When?
had
The
wars
Civil
here.
War,
Yes, we
yes, the
have.
Civil War, right? The Civil War. When's the last war your people went through, bro?
Well, I mean, I guess we've been doing well if we ain't been in a war since then, right?
Okay, so but the point I'm making, while you guys are not in war, yet there is an extreme issue with communities, and I don't know if I can say this word, GANG,
Yeah.
gang.
Okay, you can't say that. Don't say that. But
Okay,
okay, yeah. But
so
I think that comes off a little hypocritical because whether you want to talk about Chicago, whether you want to talk about GANGs and all of that stuff, that's not no tribal wars. We don't have that problem here. Even with all of the hip hop beef and all of that stuff, there's still no tribal wars. You guys have children soldiers in your country. So
no,
I
not
mean, I
in
think that's
Somalia.
the pot calling the kettle black, don't you?
Well,
Hey,
you
host,
guys have
this
the
nigga
same thing
slow,
with
man.
children. When you
Stop
have children,
entertaining this nigga. This
No, no,
nigga
no, no,
slow.
no, no. We don't have
I'll
children
give you an
soldiers.
example. Our war is about land we own. Your war and your gang battles are about land you guys do not own, don't have real estate in. 15-year-olds unaliving each other over blocks. We have actual warfare between nations. Ethiopia and Somalia fought for 22 years prior to the Civil War.
No, I mean, no, no, no,
How
no,
is that a
no, no,
comparison? You
no.
live in a
Because
first
if you
world country.
factor that in, you have certain groups of people who have beef with other groups of people who are and I'm gonna circle people because there's a lot of people who want to
You
come
can
up.
come back to me.
It's
I'll just
not,
go
no,
on.
no, sir. It's not a warfare. You have different sets of people who have issues with different sets of people. The country has always had that. There is no warfare between black Americans. That's not the case. It's never been the case. You all are in actual warfare with each other. That is not the same thing whatsoever. And you are not in a
That's more
position,
respectful.
with that being said, you are not in a position to come here and criticize and talk about how we have, I guess, lost the mark, so to speak, and how we have need to
You
go
have
back and do
music
better and
that
all of
tries
this
to
stuff,
listen, brother,
as
brother.
if you in your culture is in a position to criticize because you can't be the example. And I've asked you several times, Somalia can't be the example. You're talking about hip hop culture. Hip hop culture is not causing the damage Somalian culture is causing to Somalia. Otherwise, you'd be in Somalia right now. There's a reason you're in America. There's a reason your family is in America and not Somalia.
Hey, host, can we move on from this slow ass nigga, bro?
Hold on, no, wait. Hey, I'm gonna handle it. We're almost done. We're gonna handle it, and then we're gonna let some more people come up. Okay. But
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's
I do want to make a point, but let's have other people. We've been going for a while. I'll keep my point. I'll come back to it once you introduce everyone else.
I'm gonna have to circle people out. Let's get to all right then. Let's see. Nazi Keeper, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. That was
All
a
right. All
interesting
right.
conversation.
Okay. What's
So
on your mind?
FBA, are we basically saying these are Black Americans that are descendants of slavery?
Yep.
Okay. As
What's
far
your
as
race and ethnicity, please? Because
I'm African American, Black.
okay.
I think that the bigger issue.
Generation?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I said first generation.
No, I'm not. Um, but what I was going to say is, I think that most people's issues with what it seems like Black Americans is that they come over here a little bit uneducated about the history of us, and they think that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King encompasses everything that we went through, but they don't understand that they're too focused on racism right now, and this is a classism thing that's based off them using racism as the front. And I think any African American who actually educates themselves knows that, but new people come over and they get caught up and I guess trying to prove that they're not us and thinking that they're better than us to get closer to whiteness. And we don't really fall for the antics because we already know that they're fighting a fight or trying to do a method that we already did hundreds of years ago. So we don't bother even trying to argue with them. But because now that we don't and we focus on ourselves and we're not fighting for them for something that we know is not going to work that way, that method's not going to work, now we're kind of villainized for it. But I don't think we're doing anything wrong by minding our business.
I don't think so either. And as we should. And as you can see, we've gotten a lot of progress done in the last few years or so. We've gotten our issues, and our issues have finally stayed at the forefront. You know what I'm saying? We don't allow other people to divert the situation, distract from the situation, to tear from our issue. And our issue should be at the forefront. We keeping our issue on the front page, and that's the way it's supposed to be, you know, because of the energy that we're keeping. Now you're saying that you feel like they feel like class is a bigger problem than race, or you feel like class is like, say that again. I don't think I heard you correctly.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that Black Americans understand that racism is the front to America, but it's all about classism. That's why there's poor white people too. However, they use immigrants over here who are racist and the redneck white people who are racist to keep a divide to distract us from the fact that this is about money. It's not about race. And that's why when people come over here and they try to assimilate, they offer them the jobs first to make them feel as if they're better than African Americans, but they're also the same people who get hired on visas so that they can build their programs so that they can soon automate their systems, and then eventually they're going to send them right back where they came from.
Okay, yeah, and here's my thing, and this isn't really the live, so we might have to have another live about this. But when I hear people say that racism and classism is a different is or classism is bigger than racism. That's not necessarily the case, because we have evidence, and I'm explaining why. We have evidence to say, if a black person and a white person have the same credit score and the same job history and the same background, you'll have a bank that will give a loan with lower interest to a white person than to a black person. You've had a situation not long ago where a black family had their house appraised and it was for much lower, and then when he had it reappraised, and then took the pictures out and they thought it was a white person's house, the appraisal was for a higher amount. So we see studies and different case situations like this where it seems like black people and white people are economically, educationally, and their work history is about the same, and you always see preferential treatment be given to the white counterpart. And we can talk about the criminal justice system, and I think that's evidence in and of itself, where you see the crazy disparity with the criminal justice system. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say that race. I'm not saying that class is not a factor at all. I don't want to disagree with you on that, because class of course is a factor, but even on the same socioeconomic level, class level, you always see a white advantage given to white people who are on the same class as black people.
I
You know?
agree with that. And that's what I'm saying, that racism is the forefront to classism. You have to have people do the dirty work. The white person who appraised their house and the white neighbors who are in that neighborhood, they're still working class. They're not the white billionaires. That's what I'm saying, where the classism comes from. Even right now in America today, they're squeezing out the middle class, but because they have these foot soldiers who are so focused on racism and appraising your house lower so they feel better, they don't even realize they're getting squeezed out. That's basically what I was saying. But
Well, we'll have another live about that. But I mean, the thing is that if the evidence shows that on the same class level, the same economic, social class level, you see that there's still an advantage when it comes to being white, being just non-black. You see black people are still at the bottom, even if they're at the same, or if not above and more qualified at the same class level, then race is the predominant factor in the success rate of black people.
I get why you say that. I do understand why you're saying that, because that's the front argument there. But at the end of the day, even though we are getting the lesser end of the stick, the working class white American who's out there appraising the houses at a lower rate for black people, they're still poor in comparison to the top percent of America and what they're making. There's a huge gap of money right there, but they play a psychological game at the forefront. But at the end of the day, we're all losing. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay, we're not all losing, because the medium income and the wealth disparity, even between white people who are on a certain level and black people who are on another level, is not the same. So our loss and their loss is not the same loss.
No, it's not.
We're like floating in the water and they're on a lifeboat, compared to
Yes, that's
somebody
what
who's
I'm
on a
saying.
yacht.
But then there's a whole nother group of people that's on a yacht
and
watching
that might be another issue. And I'm not saying it's not an issue, but to say that it's a front, it's not a front when you can see, even on the same level, you're keeping a specific group of people. Stop talking to her and come down the panel. If you can't be patient, if you could say something one more time, you can't be patient, we're gonna move on. Okay, this is my panel. Y'all want to speak, you can, but I'm speaking to my guest. All right.
I don't get how people are saying she's not like us. I'm recognizing
No,
that racism is a
there are
real
people
thing.
who feel that way, and we'll have a live maybe about it.
No, I agree that racism is a real thing, and we experience it. I experience it all the time. I'm not saying that it's not a real thing. I'm not saying that we don't have issues, which is why I think it's disrespectful when immigrants come over here and then they disrespect us. I'm simply saying that when we are dealing with racism, there is a whole nother battle that's happening in the background that people aren't acknowledging, that in a moment here, maybe 10, 15 years from now, everybody's going to be poor. Everybody's going to be having issues with finding jobs, whether you're white, black, no matter the case may be. And because people are so focused on trying to push down black people, they don't even realize that you could actually be trying to use us and our intelligence that you guys won't allow us to display to fix what you guys effed up in this country. But that's all I'm saying. You can move to the next
Yeah,
person.
we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on, and I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion. But based off of our history in this country, based off of the disparities that still exist in this country, I can't be convinced that class is the bigger or underline the bigger battle than racism in this country. But we can move on. Maybe we can circle back to that. Let's get to Shippo. How you doing?
Hello, how are
I'm good. How you doing? What's your race and ethnicity, please?
you? I'm Sub-Saharan African. I'm Senegalese. I'm a continental African who just moved here to America.
Okay. How long you been in the States?
Almost 9 months.
Almost what?
Almost 9 months.
9 months. Okay. All right.
Yes. Okay, so first of all, I think that you guys should be considered as, each of you should be considered like individually because there's different levels of extremism. Some people will say the wilder things, and other people they just want their recognition. They just want to be acknowledged, and while other people would say the wilder things ever, just to hurt people's feelings. It just depends. So I wouldn't group all of you as one group because that doesn't make sense. Because you have people who will say that they were already here prior to 1492, and it's a historical fallacy. They have no substantial evidence, so it just depends. So you can't just say, "Oh, what's your problem with FBAs?" Because there's a lot of you guys, and there's different levels. You know what I'm saying? There's different levels, so you can't just be labeled as one group. So it's just like you can be your own ethnic group, without undermining other groups that are part of the same community. You guys have been here for so long. You have been here for hundreds of years. So yes, Black Americans are their own ethnic group, but it doesn't mean that you have to undermine other ethnic groups that are part of the same community. You don't need to talk crazy about Caribbeans or continental Africans. So I don't think the problem is the fact that you guys claim to be Black Americans. Is deeper than that, and it would be hypocritical to say it's just because we just want to be Black American, we want to delineate from Caribbean and African. I don't think it's a problem because we all agree on the fact that you guys are the most influential Black people in the Black diaspora. That's not the problem. The problem is when you talk when you talk crazy about other people. That's the only
Okay.
problem we have.
All right.
And also the fact that you guys are saying, because some FBAs believe that they are descendants of ancient Africans, okay? And you have other FBAs who will tell you that they were already here. That's why I'm telling you it's kind of ridiculous to label you as one group. It doesn't make sense because not all of you
I mean,
have the same.
it's a lineage. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not like one group of people. In a lineage, you have a lot. I mean, our history is complex. Our history has been mistold and all that stuff. So let's be honest. You have a lot of people who have differences of opinion, and you have people who have differences of opinion in every single lineage. There's not one single lineage and ethnicity of people where everybody thinks the exact same way. I mean, you have differences, age, generations and stuff like that. This generation might think one thing, this generation might think another thing. If you're from this side of the country, you might think one thing. If you're from this side, you might think another thing. So yeah, it's not a group, it's a lineage. That's what we're saying. Now, you said extremism. I heard you use that word extremism. I heard you use, talking down towards other people who are like us and all that stuff. What would you say you've heard that you would label extremism?
Okay. Now we Africans, we eat like mosquito burgers. We're primitives.
Mm.
We have cracked heels. Like the things like that. We eat raccoon, a bush meat. Like you're primitives. A lot of the crazy things like that. The stereotypes. It's like some of those people. It's like they embody what their ancestors oppressors stood up for.
Mm.
Like you know That's why I'm telling you. For example, I don't see you speaking the same way as those people. That's why I said each of you should be considered individually because not all FBAs speak like that. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, and that's true. And that we're not. Would I label that extreme? I wouldn't label that extreme. If you want to label that, you know what I'm saying. Mean or rude or cruel. I could say that, but here's the thing. There's also people from the, you said you're a continental African. There's also people from the continent who come to America and they will flex, talk about how they go to school and they're educated and they got culture that's better. We just had a Somalian up here trying to criticize our culture, talk about some hip hop culture and how destructive that is, and black men and black women ain't getting along and all of that stuff. So y'all will come to America and then y'all will sit up there and puff your chest out and act like y'all got some type of authority to reprimand us and our culture and call us lazy and say how we got it from $5, we got it out the mud, and y'all still in the hood, and look at Chicago, look at the hip hop, look at this, and y'all can't really do nothing. We got it popping and we flexing. So really, what's happening when people talk about stereotypes of Africa, when you talk about that, it's really a blow for blow. That's what it is. And the thing is that the blow for blow, when black Americans do the blow for blow, it seems really mean when we do it because people are not used to us doing that. People are used to kind of just beating down on us, and we trying to do the good thing by turning the other cheek. You know what I'm saying? And now we're not turning the other cheek no more. So we're going blow for blow, and y'all can't really take that because a lot of people, and I'm not just saying your group of people, but immigrants in general are used to throwing stones from a glass house. And now y'all realizing when we pick that rock up and we throw that stone back, oh, your house is made of glass. Yeah, so it's a blow for blow thing. Y'all got stereotypes on us. You know, I've seen rooms and y'all talking about how the deadbeat dads and we don't got no fathers and hip hop culture and we lazy and want handouts from the government and all of this stuff. And okay, well, if somebody says y'all eat bush meat, then it is what it
But
is. That's
like, don't you think that a lot of Black Americans have a superiority complex? You know, when it comes to Black immigrants in general, don't you? Because we come straight from the continent, and you guys are biased because you consume a lot of media. You know, a lot of things that you see on TV. So it's not necessarily your fault, but I feel like you guys are being manipulated. So you unconsciously you think that you're
why
superior
do
than
you why
Africans.
do you feel like we have a superiority complex? What
It
gives you
it's
that?
my personal experiences. I feel like a lot of Black Americans think they're superior than Africans, you know. And
Mm.
like for the most part, there's a disconnection. That's why I get the dumbest questions ever from them, like in real life, not virtually. If we have
Okay.
electricity in Africa, if you guys walk down the street without shoes, you know, like I don't get it, you know.
I don't think. I mean, those questions. We do see videos like that. Let's not lie. I mean, we do see videos where there are parts in Africa that doesn't have electricity, and I'm not. That's not shaming you, or I'm not trying to talk bad about Africa. But there are parts in Africa that don't have electricity. That is a fact. You know, and there might be people who are curious about that, or who don't know the truth or the history or the complexity of Africa. That's not necessarily a superiority complex.
Or being surprised because I speak English. Like there's no English speaking countries in Africa. You know, I'm sorry if I would say you guys some of you are ignorant. Let's not make excuses for everything, you know. You can ask me why I speak English because just because I come
I
from
don't.
Africa. So
Okay, I'm not here to speak on your anecdotal experience, but I don't think any. I've never seen a Black American be surprised that an African speaks English. We're not. I don't. Collectively, we are not surprised that you all speak English. So I'm not. Maybe that's your individual experience, but collectively we don't. And I wouldn't say that that's even still. Even if we were, that wouldn't be a superiority complex.
but okay, so me my problem is only when you guys, you know, make the claim that you were already in America prior to 1492. Like I said, it's a historical fallacy. And some of your ancestors like are probably turning in their graves when you make claim like that, you know. It's just very disrespectful to your ancestors.
Well, I
Like,
mean, I don't think you really have the authority to tell us what's disrespectful to my ancestors, to be honest. But there are people who have done research, and like I said, we don't all think the same, but there are people who have done research and they've looked up historical claims, they've looked up scientific evidence, and they've seen things like, okay, there is scientific evidence that there were black people here before Christopher Columbus. So, I mean, if people want to point that out as a scientific fact, and that's been a scientific fact for at least the last decade or so, which most historians will tell you that there were black people here, before Columbus. And most historians will tell you that. If you don't know that, you're actually a little behind on that, to be honest.
I
And I'm
mean,
not saying that black people, the slave trade didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean,
okay,
for
but like
people who
it,
are acting like that's a new thing, that is not a
but
new
like the
thing.
thing is, dissing Africans, is like if you diss African, you're actually dissing, your people. It's the same thing because you
But
guys
okay,
came straight from
okay.
Africa. So
If we agree on that, and then we're gonna have to move on. But if we agree on that, isn't dissing Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, also dissing your own people? Let's not move the
well,
goalposts. Now, hold on. Let's not move the goalposts, because when y'all come over and we Akatas and we lazy and hip hop and our culture is bad and fathers ain't in our life and all of this stuff. All of this stuff is under the guise of what y'all will say is constructive criticism. We can get beat down on under the guise of constructive criticism, and then when we get some constructive, quote unquote, constructive criticism for y'all, then y'all hate Africa and y'all hate the diaspora and y'all hate yourselves and you hate your ancestors. No, let's keep the goalposts at the same level now. Because
all you are is a slave baby. Fuck you, bitch. You're a
we've
slave
been
baby.
facing the brunt of a lot of unwarranted. He left. We've been facing the brunt of a lot of unwarranted, quote unquote, tough love. And the second, okay, if tough love is what we doing, we got tough love too. All right. And the second we give it to y'all, then it becomes quote unquote hate. So we ain't doing that.
Hey, host, I don't mean to cut you off, but can you drop me for Freya the goddess? Because I gotta run. You feel me? That's my
Freya the
sister.
goddess. Let me look at.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. I am gonna bring some people up here. Let me see. We got a sister Halo. Let me see. Who is? I don't see Freya the god. I don't. Where's Freya the goddess? I don't see Freya the goddess up here. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes before I let Freya go. Let's get to, because I definitely want to get to some other people real quick. Sword, what's up? What's up? Duration
Hey, so what's up? I'm Black American, and I love the foundational Black American theme. I'm all with it. I'm all for it, and I want to answer the prompt. And shout out to you, by the way, too. I'll be seeing you on YouTube and stuff.
Oh,
Tariq,
thank
man.
you, thank you.
What's everyone's issue with FBA? It's because we acknowledge our distinctiveness and what we've did here in this country, and now that we put a name to it, non-Black people can't tether off of that no more. So what we see here is, hey, you guys are being divisive. This is an 8 group. Now it's being called that because people can't participate and kind of take credit for what we did no more, right? What else did I want to say on here? But yeah, it's mainly that. I was looking at the stuff that we invented, Black American inventions, all this stuff. I know you've seen the list. Probably most of you guys seen the list, and that's something to be proud of. Air conditioning, elevator, all this stuff. It's like this is what all these people come here for, and it was all made here in America. It wasn't made out where these folks is coming from. So we got a right to be proud of who we is as foundational Black Americans, and we got a right to gatekeep our culture and who we are as a people. And folks, you see it at the more and more we peel back the layers of these people that's been kind of tethering off of us, the detachment. They're screaming to be like, stop detaching us from you. You hear that hostility, and when we say we foundational Black Americans, these people hostilely call us, oh no, you're African, you're African. And, trying to rebrand us as this people without this history that we now discovering about ourselves.
Mm.
We great people. That superiority complex, that's my great grandfather who who invented something. That's your great grandfather or great grandmother who invented that surveillance security system back then. That's something for us to be proud of. And now that we got that foundational term, everybody can't come in. Everybody can't say that's them. And I know that's what's make them mad. Ain't no more of that. Now we a distinct group. We know who we are, and having this sense of identity really give us a lot of self-esteem and motivation to be even better, to get more cohesive. And these people seeing that, and you could tell these people been tethering off of us this whole time, because now the more and more we keep addressing the stuff that involves foundational Black Americans, all these people was just latched on to us this whole time. As you keep tearing them off, you keep hearing them come with these weird talking points.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And what up, y'all? That's my deal.
What's up, brother? And I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna move on real quick because I know there's more people coming up and more people want to speak. I'm gonna say, when people are using like certain keywords, key phrases like superiority complex and stuff like that, and then when I ask, okay, well, what makes you feel we have a superiority complex? And then you can't really land on anything, because it's us not being us being proud of who we are in our history, our unique ethnic history here. And everybody's trying to humble us by saying, okay, well, if you say anything, or if you're proud about it, if you boast about it, then you got a superiority complex, or you're egotistical and everything. And yet everybody and their mama get to come over here and wave their flag and brag about where they come from and brag about their great culture and brag about how great they are. And that's not a superiority complex. That's just ethnic pride, and that's pride in their nation. All right. And if we do that, then it's always something immoral or wrong and all of that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Let's keep the goalpost where it is. Let's keep the goalpost where it is. Okay. If y'all was doing it and it was cool, then we gonna do it and it's gonna be cool too. Let's get to let me see, Michelle. Michelle, you with us? Going once, going twice. Okay. Well, I mean, it is late, so Michelle's not here. Let me see. Basic.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Black American. And the issue that everybody has with FBA is FBA is pretty much the first time that we stopped allowing stuff to be swept under the rug, especially when it comes to disrespect to our people. And most of them don't like it because they're used to the Pan-African ideology that pretty much just centers Africa and Africans and just takes any accountability away from Africans in particular. Like, they're never held accountable for what they do. So now that you have FBA and we're actually pointing out the raccoons when it comes to everybody else, they don't like it. So now they want to say things like, we are divisive and all this other stuff. But all of these people have continued their own versions of ethnic pride ever since they come over here. Like, these people, they unalive to not go back to their countries, but they come over here, they wave these flags everywhere. They even go to FBA events and they have their flags waving them everywhere, which makes no sense. And they get mad that we call it out. So, the thing is, FBA is growing rapidly. And the reason why it's growing rapidly is because our younger generation, especially for where I'm from, which is majority Black, our younger generation, they're seeing it on their own. And these people don't realize that FBA is growing because of your behavior. Like, they see exactly what's happening. I don't even have to mention FBA to these people because I don't have to go out and sell it. All I do is I go out and I talk to our youth about life and experiences, and they see this stuff on their own. So FBA isn't going anywhere. Like, they try to get on here and lie like FBA is some little small movement. No, it's not. No, it's not, because your people don't know how to act, and our people are tired of the disrespect. Pan Africanism is failing. It hasn't done anything except for put Black Americans at the bottom and prop everybody else up. You'll even have Pan Africans who come on here and put down Black American culture and history in order to prop up Africa. And we just not doing that no more. So I think that's the issue, is they don't have the spotlight like they used to, and they know that if we are not propping them up, they're gonna have to look at themselves, and they don't like what they see.
That's a good point. That's a good point. You need us to prop them up. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. Appreciate that. Faith.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm FBA, and I'm really proud of the younger generation and what you're doing to promote and propel, the history and the background and the legacy of FBAs. It's not everyone. It's certainly not every Caribbean. It's not every.
Hold on, real quick, Diamond. I'm gonna cycle you out. I'm gonna let somebody else come up real quick. Okay. All right. Let's see. Go ahead, Faith.
Yeah, it's certainly not everyone. It's not, every Caribbean person that or every person who is from the continent of Africa, but a lot of them do come here and they talk a lot of trash about us. And I can never understand that. I'm like, first of all, you wouldn't be able to be in this country and enjoy the benefits of being in this country had it not been from FBAs. I don't know what you were told or taught before you got here, but you have the gift of the African American, the FBA, as to why you're even in the country and thriving and doing what it is you want. There's no group that can't even say that, including other black people from other countries. You have us to thank for that. And if they, I don't know, before they take their citizenship test, I don't know how much they learn about foundational Black Americans in terms, like someone mentioned, our inventions, particularly the civil rights movement and what that means for all these other groups that have, including LGBTQ. They don't even understand what it means to all those other groups, how we open the doors for them. So to the extent that they want to call us lazy, you haven't done that, and this is like, listen, you have us to thank for whatever it is you're benefiting from in this country. You can't even give that credit to white tea people. It's because of the African American that you have that advantage. So
That's true. It is. If it to be white tea people didn't want them here.
nope.
And that's the truth of the matter. They didn't want them here. It was foundational Black Americans who were sitting up there standing for their right to come here and fighting and advocating for their right to immigrate in this country. So, and we don't have people fighting against their government for us to immigrate into their country. You know what I'm saying? But we did that, and they're here benefiting off of struggles and rights and laws that we had to fight for. Okay. And now they're coming over here, and that this isn't to say every single last one of them, but enough to be an issue, are coming over here, popping their collar, acting like they got something or they did something that wasn't done before them. So yeah, this is why people are fed up. You can't blame them, and this is why we're having this conversation. Thank you. Were you
You're
done?
welcome. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Halo, you got it.
Yeah, I'm FBA. Anyways, okay, so the issue, let me say that I've been listening to your lives at work. So when I get my reads, there'll be nothing but facts coming out because and some more ish that I done found out about this whole situation. So what's the issue is they don't even recognize try to say FBA is a fake term, which is not. If it was a fake term, they wouldn't be on census right now, which it is now. So you could stay mad, you could stay upset about that. And another thing is that they're mad right now because we're not stepping in the fight for them and we're worried about ourselves. We got 99 problems and deportation ain't one. Okay. So we, them 99 problems is the problems that we need to be taken care of, not somebody else ish, because wasn't nobody there for us. When we said we want reparations, they all wanted to be included. They all wanted to speak against it. So guess what? Since you want to speak against our ish, you can deal with these problems yourself. And my whole thing is too, karma is eating these people up, right? All the things that they saying to us then came back on them 10 times worse. Okay, they called us slaves. Well, guess what that 14th Amendment for? The children of chattel slavery. And guess what? They call us alligator babies, and now they gonna get eaten up by alligators if they escape. I don't know if y'all know or not, but they sending illegal immigrants to this detention center, and they putting crocodiles and alligators out there, and some what is them snakes, piranhas out there, and that's gonna guard y'all from escaping from that detention centers. Remember, y'all was calling us gator babies. Now you finna be gator food. Okay, and I don't feel bad for you, and I don't got a tear in my eye for you. All these videos that I'm just getting off work, y'all. That's why I'm like, all these videos with the sad backgrounds and my husband is getting deported. I don't care. You didn't care then. You don't even want to recognize us of who we are, foundational Black Americans. You got to. What is FBA? You clearly know what FBA is. You've been on this app for the longest. You've been on this app for the longest. You've been on this app for the longest, and you clearly know what it is. And you want to play dumb when we say things, and then you want to look dumb in the end when things come back to you. The fear mongering didn't work. Nothing is working for us to get up and fight your fight. We're not fighting your fight. Get up on your good foot and go home or do it yourself. Cause I ain't nobody finna get in the front line for somebody who would never be in the front line for us. You spoke against everything we fought for. You called everything ghetto, and now not to mention you thought the white tea people looked at you like you were better than us, but now they look at you like animals, worse than what they was looking at us as. Because when I looked at Fuck them people. Shut up. Which way to get on the freeway? I think it's this way. This way. Go down this way. Anyways, go down this way. So they looking at y'all worse than how they looking at us. I need to get on the other side. That's what I'm trying. Yeah, get on that side. You see that turn right there? And yeah. So anyways, you see they was the military said these people be eating their arms off. Just animals. And y'all think I'm lying? Go look it up. Yes, the military said they deported one of them, and they started chewing on their arms. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they start chewing on their arms. So who the animals now? You came over here thinking you're something, and then you're looking real crazy in the end. It's your fault. We ain't standing for you. Stop making them sad videos too. Stop making them sad videos on TikTok with the sad music in the back, because it only make me want to laugh more. When I see them deporting young people and they crying, no, baby, I'm kikiing over here. I hate to tell you that, but it's the truth. It's funny I don't know about y'all, but it's funny to me. I'm done.
Hey man, they would have the same energy, and they do have the same energy with us. Halo, you make sure you get home safe, okay? I need you to make sure you get home safe, okay? She needs to get home.
I'm gonna get home safe. I'm gonna be safe.
She needs directions, Halo. She needs you.
No, she got that GPS, don't she?
Okay. No, okay. She said, I ain't got it. She said, Halo, get off the phone. Okay. Okay, that's cool. All right, though. But hey, look, man. They don't have no mercy, no sympathy, no grace for us, no understanding for us. And when we go through bumps and bruises, it's our fault. That's what they tell us. It's our fault, and we need to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. So all we saying is they need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. You know what I'm saying? We can't feel bad. You ain't pulling yourself up by your bootstraps like we do. All right, we'll get to Velvet, and then we'll get to Miss POV.
Hi. Yes, I am FBA. Very proud. My great 6 times grandfather was a Buffalo Soldier. I've been posting his photos all week. Very proud of the things that our culture has accomplished. No other
Mhm.
culture in this country has been through chattel slavery, taught themselves English, fought every war and won. We stand on the shoulders of our, elders who actually accomplished, survival methods for us to continue to forge forward. So I just want to say that, and I love my FBA people. I'm so proud of us, Ryan Coogler, and so many people. I work in the entertainment industry, but so many people are riding behind this. And I do want to say this. I think the real issue with FBA, and I see this being a problem in the future for us, is that we have tethers, of course, but then we have, organizations like the Black Caucus and other political, leaders who have done nothing for us. Their job is to align with the dominant society and beholden to them and make us do the work while other cultures receive the tangibles. And I think they're upset with us because we finally woken up and stayed on code,
Mhm.
and we're not, any longer beholden to, the trick bag of them wanting us to do the work and then not receiving the benefits. So I think because of that, that's why our movement is the strongest right now in America, because, if we ask for tangibles, if we don't receive them from either party, then they don't get our support. And I think because of that political power, they're trying to label us as an organization so that they can later use those COINTELPRO tactics. That's why I always emphasize we are not an organization, we're a lineage. And I'm so proud of our people. We got to stay on code, stand on it. I think a lot of other, cultures that benefited from our work for a long time in the diaspora are jealous and upset because we're no longer fighting for them. And we got to, keep doing what we're doing now. And I think pouring that money back into our communities, again, not pouring any, campaign money or anything like that to these boulets who've been, taking advantage of us for so long. And like I said, that's all I wanted to say. I'm so proud of our people. And I'm very proud to be a foundational Black American.
Yes, indeed. I love it 100%. And they gotta agree. I gotta agree. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. That's your dog on your profile picture.
Yeah, it's my baby.
What type of dog is that? What breed?
It's a Yorkie.
Yorkie. Okay. My auntie
Yeah.
has a Yorkie. Don't like me, but I hope yours is different.
Yeah.
All right. All
Thank
right.
you,
Thank you,
brother.
sister. Okay, let's get to Miss POV.
Hey you guys, how you all doing? I'm so happy, Afro Elite, that you're. Can y'all hear me or I'm talking too low?
No, I hear you fine.
Okay, and thank you for even just having this live because I've been looking for more positive ones and for people who stand with us, but not out of hate, just out of truth, and just because you are proud to be who you are and you refuse to abandon your identity. Y'all, listen to me when I tell you, these folks literally want you to abandon your identity and your lineage. And they're not asking any other group to do that but us. I want to make that clear. There is an unhealthy obsession with our identity currently on the world stage. And to speak to Velvet's point, there was a woman in Alive who was a professor. She was like 55 years old in cultural studies and anthropology. And she let the platform know, like, no, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans are the pinnacle at the top of the research worldwide when it comes to cultural history and practices, because they are currently the only group in the modern day present times who have been able to establish themselves around their conqueror and out of oppression. Are the only ones who have been able to form a culture, hold on to that culture out of oppression and around their colonizer. We are in the belly of the beast. So we have done something significant that is worth worldwide studies. You understand what I'm saying? So like, then secondly, to what Velvet was talking about, it's so important that we doing the work. Some of that work is passing down this history to the youth, the accurate history, empowering them and letting them know who they are. We can't depend on these public schools to do that. So we got to start snatching our kids. You know what I'm saying? We got to start reeling them in. If you have elders that you do speak to, you need to start recording their history, getting dates, names, and locations. Period, point blank. Let me say that again for all of us who are FBA and are proud. If you have elders in your family, start talking to them and listening to their story and asking them what they remember. We need names, dates, and locations of what they can remember before they make their big transition. Another thing that I want to say when it comes to the immigrants, this is crazy to me that they think that they got all the answers for us, but you the descendants of folks who fled your homeland. You know what I'm saying? You're not the people who over there fighting. We better off talking to the people who are there in their country, still fighting the good fight. I don't want to hear from the descendants of a Jamaican who left their country. You didn't fight those people. So how you going to tell us what's best for us to do in even approaching YT supremacy? How would you know that? You know what I'm saying? So you got so much criticism for us. Like, and your home country is still jacked up. So what advice do we need from you? What advice do we need? And another thing, this whole thing, this is major spiritual warfare, bro. These folks trying to destiny swap with us. I'm glad that y'all using the term tether, because I've never heard of it used outside of the online space from FBA. And I'm glad that we putting it on that, because they trying to destiny swap with us. We are next in line to receive. Let me tell y'all something. 18% of this country in the 18% of the population in the United States is 65 years and above. 65 years and above. They on their way out. These folks, they on their way out. And that's in Congress too. That's on a government level as well. So they trying to hold on and transfer wealth and power, but their time is done. Let it be known that they know their time is done. They know this. They trying hard to hold on to it. We can push these folks out. We can make them go a little bit quicker if we pay attention to voting. And I know everybody ain't with that, man, but Obama did say elections have consequences. They do. I work elections. I'm a political director. I do marketing and consulting on political campaigns. So that's what I do. Elections have consequences. We need to pay attention to the elections that are coming up. These people are hired. They are hired representatives, which means they can be fired, y'all. Figure out how to fire these folks and get them out of office. We have plenty of Black lawyers. We have plenty of Black organizations who are trying to put FBA people in office. And I'm going to be making a list and such of that as well. But I'm so proud of us. We have to hold on to this identity, and we have to get the world to not acknowledge it, but accept it. You accept it. This is what it is. And we need to strategize and organize on that. It ain't up for debate no more. We know who we are. So they talking about deportation, right? We in there because I go into the other ones. I play devil's advocate. I want to hear what y'all are saying. So I go into other ones. You know, these folks think that we don't know who our third and fourth generation ancestor is. You know that? That means that they think we don't know who our great grandmother is, our great great grandmother is, and where they came from. They think we don't know that. Okay, so how could they think that? That means you fed into YT propaganda. From the jump, I was blown away to find out that there was some truth that these mugs really voted for Donald Trump, thinking that they was gonna get us out of here. They really believe that. So you don't know African American history. They keep trying to come into the lives and say, "Oh, we know." Want to bring up Marcus Garvey, bro? For every Marcus Garvey, there was 24 FBA civil rights activists doing the good fight and doing what that man was doing or more. Okay, we don't want to hear about that no more. The one Caribbean, the one African. For your list of 10, there was 20 for every one of y'all that y'all got who was ADOS and FBA. So I just want to let y'all know this spiritual warfare, and they trying to destiny swap because we next in line to receive. And we need to build infrastructure for that receiving, and we need to get ready, and we need to stand on business. And that's all I'm saying. I'm proud, and These type of lives need to keep happening. We need everyone who is proud of FBA. We need to combat that with no, we standing strong. We ain't no hate group. We don't even need to say that. We don't even need to acknowledge that at all. Don't even acknowledge that. We need to just stand in who we are and show them who we are. You know what I'm saying? I want to know why FBA phone calls. Like I said, I'm a political director. Small groups of everybody think phone banking is from the thousands. Oh no. A group of 500 people who dedicated every day can get something done. We need to be calling ICE on the YT immigrants, the Asian immigrants. FBA need to find out where there's other pockets of them. And I don't care that they not black. Call them folks, okay? They need to feel it too. Since you rounding up all the black ones, okay, we gonna make your job easier, ICE. We gonna get you the other ones out of here too. So start doing the work, y'all. I'm proud of y'all, and that's all I gotta say.
Thank you. Thank you. And when you make that list, I'd like to see it. When you get that list, I know you said you're working on that. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see that when you get
Of
done.
course, I got you.
Okay, thank you. All right. Let's love more, hate less. You still with us?
You could drop me for someone else who wants to come up.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Love more, hate less. I guess you're not with us. Okay, dude. You did that before. You tried to come up before. It didn't go. So we'll get to what's his name? Ash Kiki.
It's Ash Nikki, but those ladies
Ash
said
Kiki.
mouthful.
I don't know why I said my bad.
It's
But
good. You're good. But yeah, those ladies hit it right on the head for me. But I do want to say that I am FBA and I'm proud to be it. I started kind of this journey a little late in the game. So, I'm still figuring out everything. But I just feel so connected and I'm glad that I have something to pass on to my kids and really know who we are. And because I feel like everyone has an issue with us, especially certain different demographics, because they want to belittle us. They want to say we're lazy, and we don't never feel like, as growing up, we didn't feel like we were a part of something. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are we with y'all, but y'all talk down on us? You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to tell my kids nothing about that, so I'm just glad that we have something, and I'm proud, and I'm grateful for real. I like our people, stand with FBA, everything we got going on. And I don't let what they say bother me. Look, we got to stay on code with it. So that's where I'm at. But thank you.
well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I agree. And it's such an empowering thing, you know, to be able to stand on something, stand on a history and a culture. We've always been told that we don't really have we don't really belong anywhere. We kind of don't belong in America. We kind of don't belong in Africa. And if we did, we don't know what like tribe and nation. We kind of just don't belong nowhere. And that's over with now. That's over with now. And now you're dealing with people who know where we belong. So our energy is a lot different. You know? So thank you for that. Let me see. Say Queen.
Thank you for having me. Oh, excuse me, my voice is going out. What's everyone issue with FBA? I'm a proud FBA person, FBA, and it's such a pivotal moment to be alive right now. I go day by day, but what I'm paying attention to is these two groups of people, no, every group against us, right? These people, okay, let's start with the Hispanics. They want us to fight for them. And when we say no, we're resting, they refuse to allow us to rest. They refuse to allow us to heal. And they get passive aggressive. They start using racial slurs. That's crazy to me. Africans, I just got off of a live, and he talks about us every single day. I don't know if it's for clout, but I decided to get up on it, and ask him a couple of questions and act dense and naive, because he was calling us uneducated people, and did Big Mama tell you this and that. And it's crazy because it's like, I thought you're supposed to love us, and this is the reason why trying to get us to, be proud of our ancestry there in Africa, which I don't believe. But it is whatever it is. But soon as we say, allow us to be whoever we are, because our people built this nation, all of a sudden it's these racial slurs. So they're angry with us at this point. They're angry. I went, a native, or whatever you want to call them, Native American, is crazy. She decided to say to, one of our men, worry about child support.
Mhm.
If you're directing all your energy into us, and we're supposedly only make 13% of the United States, why are you worried about us when in those reservations there's missing women and children?
Well,
Why are
what?
you worried about
What?
us when in those
Wait,
reservations
wait your
y'all
turn
being
when you speak.
whitewashed? Y'all literally being whitewashed, and you have white tea chiefs. You're focused on us though. And that's insane. That only shows me that we're so powerful, they have to keep us asleep. That's the only thing they do. And then they get mad. Then they get angry. And then you start seeing their true colors. You start seeing their true, they start seeing things to mess with our emotions and make us irrational and make us question ourselves. They can't stand us standing on our truth. They can't stand the fact that we influence the world. Like, they cannot stand it. But you're Native American. You in a reservation. What have you done for America? If we're on stolen land, what have you done for America? You're not even doing for your people on the reservation. So why are you worried about us? And then one person is all like, I'm going to take y'all to federal court. I saw so many of us, and I felt so proud. I felt so proud because we're waking, and I got to view it. And it was so many of us saying, we're ready. We're ready. When is it? And the only comeback she could say, a racial slur. You're from Africa.
Hey, this lady
You're
is
from
retarded. I
Africa.
can't do this. You guys stay.
What happened?
Don't worry about him.
Oh. Yeah, they're saying I can't do this. So I'm very proud to be a part of this. I feel like our ancestors, they're like, have America ever treated us good? We always been in fight mode, baby. We're not going to give up because, quote unquote, we haven't been treated fairly. I feel like the torch was passed down to us, and we're finally, waking up to things. And I think they just hate us because they want us to go away. They don't only want us to go away, they want us to go to their land and build the way we built here. Because it's impossible to build when you're targeted every single day just by your image. Not even your spirit, it's your image that's being targeted. So it's astonishing that we're still thriving to them. We're weird. We're like aliens to these people. Like, it's like the whole world is against us. I literally feel like the entire I I know my grandmother, she passed away at 97 years old. She couldn't read, she couldn't write. Um and before she let go, because I know a lot of our people gave up and sold out. Seriously, that's the truth. And that's why we're in the predicament we in. My grandmother made it a point in her will to keep our land in Louisiana, to keep our land in Texas, and don't cut her female tree, because that's what we eat from. You get what I'm saying? So can't nobody tell me that I'm not who I say I am, because I know who I am. I am who I am, right? Can't nobody tell me that. Can't nobody tell me that anyone, I mean, even on the reservations, when they do the Indian dances with the war cry, the rain dance, they have to count to 8. Our people are spiritual people. We don't have to count to nothing. If that beat is in us, we're gonna let go. So I'm just proud, and the reason why they're mad, because we're the chosen. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, we are the chosen. We're constantly crucified. We've been crucified and hung and all these things for other people to eat off of us. And now we're tired. And God is making a way where we will be restored everything that was taken from us. And like she said, their destiny is swiping, right? Their destiny is swiping. And we're able, and oh Lord, because I feel it in my soul. I just feel it in my soul, right? I just love y'all.
And we love you. Thank you, sister.
And I want y'all to keep fighting. Don't allow these people
Oh,
to
girl,
tell you
please
who
don't
you
go
are,
there.
right?
I thought I was the only one crying. Bye.
Don't allow
Yeah, I'm
them,
crying
man.
too,
Don't allow
y'all.
them. Every day, you know, we're not being physically hit with water hose or spit in our face, but every day we have to fight for who we are as a people. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
I just feel it in my spirit. I feel our ancestors in my spirit. And
It's okay.
thank you. Thank you, my people. Thank you. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I'm sorry, guys. I'm literally so proud of y'all. I'm so proud to be here.
Thank you.
I'm so
Okay, can
proud
y'all
to
mute her?
face
I'm
this.
just like crunchy.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
We love
I have to be
you.
here.
You're
I'm
fine.
sorry, guys. It's real. It's real. The stuff I see is real. The stuff I see, my grandmother sat us down and showed us pictures. She dedicated her life. She couldn't read, she couldn't write. She told us stories. They always tell you, well, why don't you speak your native land? At one point, our tongues were cut. Well, why don't you grow your hair? At one point, our women hair was shaved. And then the African gonna say, well, what's so special about your culture? You're no special. What's so special about your history? You're no special. You're nothing special. But if you don't feel we're special, why do you have to say that to me? Why you try to break me down? Why do y'all come here? Why aren't you in your continent creating a way? Why? That's because we're chosen, and wherever we decide to go, it will flourish. And it's just that simple. They know it. They can pretend like they don't. They can be passive aggressive, but not only everything will be restored to us, we will judge and they will be judged. And they know this. And I'm sorry for crying, guys. I mean, that spirit just really got into me. I love my people and I love y'all, and that's all I have to say.
We love you
That's
too. And
all I have to
sometimes
say.
I let it
Thank
happen
you.
because sometimes we
Why,
we're good
Azul,
to
why
let it
aren't you in your
yeah.
country? Oh, Lord.
Ross, but thank you, sister. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, Rasta, I assume because of your flag that you are Jamaican, and you've been saying a lot in the chat room. I'm correct with you being Jamaican, right? You're not tethering on to somebody else.
I was born in America to American father and a Jamaican mother.
Okay, all right. That's why you got two flags in there. Okay. Uh, what do you have to say?
I mean, of course, you know, everybody knows we all should be one people. As Africans, we are a tribal people. We come in many different colors and sizes, but at the end of the day,
So why you in the comments saying we have no culture, and now you up here saying we
but
all need to
ma'am,
be one
here we
people?
go
Where's
again.
that
Cut
Here
him
we
energy?
go
off. Don't
again.
cut
I'm gonna
him
get him.
Here we
off.
go
Don't cut him
again.
off.
Hey,
Don't
Here
cut
we
J-Lo,
him
I'm
go
gonna,
off. Don't
again.
cut him
I'm gonna
off.
get him. I'm gonna get
Like,
him. Go ahead.
you know, everybody had 3 hours to talk. I just want to, you know, take ten sentences. but
Go
like
ahead,
I said,
Rasta. Go. You got it. Go ahead.
yeah, but like I say, we all one people, and it seems like the FBAs are trying to separate themselves from the rest of the African family, and they say they want to do their own thing. And then it's like, even if, like I said, I was born in America, so it's like, even if I do want to do my thing and support y'all, I always ask, like, okay, can I donate to a website? Do y'all have any organization? And then some people, and I was thinking about donating to Umar Johnson School, and some of y'all don't even like Umar. So I'm like, okay. Then it's like, one FBA panel was saying, comparing themselves to Jamaicans, saying how they make more money than the Haitians and the Jamaicans, and they make the most money out of all the African tribes. And I say that is true, but it kind of would be more of a bragging right if you wasn't using your money to be in competition with other poor black people about who can give their money to the YT man the fastest. Because all the FBA brag about is Gucci, Louis, Prada, Chanel. They want to drive a Benz. Everything that FBA love is giving their money back to the YT man. But when I see poor people from Jamaica or Haiti, like they have, like even a little Haiti in Miami, they have more of a community. The FBAs are comfortable going to Walmart instead of building their own grocery stores and factories. They are comfortable sending their children to school to get miseducated so they can support YT agenda. You know what hurt my feelings? Burkina Faso was making so many great strides in the right direction, and then you had the American government, General Langley, the BLK man, he got on TV and lied and said Burkina Faso was evil and they trying to go over there and blow them up. So I'm looking in the comments and I see all the FBAs say, yeah, that's right, bump Burkina Faso, we coming to steal all the minerals. America, I support the red, white, and blue. America is the greatest land. I love the white man. And I'm like, wow, the FBA is literally the culture of single mother homes. I mean, I don't know what y'all celebrating. To be honest, I'm just trying to get a little clarity. I don't want to pick on nobody, but I mean, are you celebrating that you give your money to the white man the fastest? I mean, what are we celebrating as the FBA? Where's the website?
Let me answer that question because I think I got it. Let me answer the question. But before I do, let me ask. Okay, you said your mother's Jamaican, right?
Now keep right and then keep right to continue on to the interstate.
Be safe, man. Come on now. You said your mother's Jamaican, right?
Yeah, she was born in Jamaica.
She was born in Jamaica. Now, if I asked her where she's from, she would say she's Jamaican, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my thing is that when it comes to FBA, it's got to be we're all African and we're all this one big group of people. But by the fact that you have a Jamaican flag in your title in your name, and if you ask your mother where your mother's from, she's not gonna say Africa. She is not gonna say that. She is gonna say Jamaica.
No,
You know
that's
what I'm
not what
saying?
my mother said.
Yeah,
My
we
mother,
are. You can say there are different black people in different places. Okay, I don't think anybody's really arguing that. But yeah, we are different people who have a different culture and a different history, a different lineage. The same way you want people to respect you and your mother would want people to respect her Jamaican heritage is the same way our heritage in America should be respected. Okay, it's all when it's American. It's all we really all one big African people, but Jamaican people are not held to that standard. So let's not do that. All right. I wanted to wait till you were done before I say that. All right. Because we don't that same energy that you putting in America and giving to black Americans, you will not giving that to the Caribbean because they not going. Okay. They are not going. You say you're not really Jamaican, you're really Africa, they are going to get upset. They not going for it.
well, if you instead of making assumptions, I can tell you exactly what my mama said when I asked her about my heritage. My mother said that her mother, which is my grandma, was born in Jamaica, but my great grandma was born in Nigeria and she died in Jamaica. Most of us came from Africa, including you. But
Okay,
since
okay.
I mean, I met some
Here's the
FBAs.
thing, though. Your mother, yeah, and I'm speaking for the collective, but she's gonna say she's Jamaican. If you say, well, no, you're just everybody is just one big African people, then pretty much everybody in the world is African. If you want to go that far, no, everybody in the world's not African. That's not shade, but everybody's not. That's just
Would
not how
you
the
agree?
world works, sir. And this
Would,
isn't no disrespect towards Africa, but that's just not the truth.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. Do you agree that nationality and race is different? So you can have a different nationality but still be a part of the same race,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
right?
agree. Yeah, race and nationality are different. Yeah, of course.
Okay, then so we're still a part of the same race no matter what land the boat landed at. The boat came
Okay.
from Africa.
And Africa is not a race.
Hey,
The
can I say something to him
The
real quick?
African
Africa
race
is not a
is a
race, and
race.
it's not
The
a race.
African race is a race.
The African race, you mean the black race? People being black?
No, black is a color. See, that's how I know that most of FBA are slaves. Black is not a race. That's a color. The
Africa
African
What?
is
race is
not a
a
Experience.
race.
There's
race.
a
Africa
Black
is not a
American
damn
Mm.
race. If
experience,
that's
sir.
the case, Europe is a race.
Black
Europe is not.
American is not a race.
Europe,
That's a
stop. No, it's
nationality.
not. No, it is
So
not.
what?
Stop it. And this is that Pan-African nonsense. Stop. Africa is not a race. Europe is not a
So,
race.
so
We
what's
don't
your
say
race?
the
So what's
race
your
of Europe.
race?
Europe is
So
not a race. Africa
what
is
is
not a
your
race. It's a
race?
continent. Black is a race, white is a race, Asian is a race.
European is a race.
No, it's
European
not.
is not a
Asian
race.
Asian is a race.
Not,
What?
yeah. I mean, there
What
are.
are
What?
you
What
talking
y'all
about? Like
doing?
Yeah.
FBA is not smart.
Okay, so
Okay, hold on.
what
But
do you
You
need to
before
know,
we
can
get
I
into
say
this,
understand?
something,
though,
please? Can I
this
say
dude
something
is
real
saying
quick?
something that
Yes.
is you can Google this and look this up. Y'all keep trying to make it seem like we're all African and African is a race. It is not. No matter how much you want to say it is, it's not. Regardless of that, though, your mother is Jamaican. You don't have an African flag in your name, dude. You have a Jamaican flag in your name, and you want
Can
to sit
I
up
ask
here
him a
and come to
question?
us as if we all did, yeah, Africa, we're all African race. You don't get no African nothing in your flag, in your name. You have a Jamaican thing. You are part Jamaican. All right. Then you want to talk about how we divisive and we do this and we give our money to the damn white man and how everybody else got stuff popping. Why don't they have it popping where they're from? And when they come to America, what do? They don't be fighting against white supremacy. They don't. You talking to the only group of people. If we're gonna tell the truth, and this might hurt your feelings, but I'm gonna say it. And if it do, I kind of hope it do. We gonna hurt your feelings by saying this. We are the only group of people who really got any points on the board. Let's be honest. When it comes to civil rights that everybody else is copying, when it comes to the movement, which is why everybody be throwing their fist up in the air, when it comes to advocacy, when it comes to marches and standing up for humanity, we are the only group of people with points on the board. Don't nobody have any standing to come up here and tell us what we need to be doing, because when we look at what y'all doing, y'all don't got nothing we can aspire to. Y'all don't have nothing we can look up to. Anybody, any Jamaican, any Caribbean who's got anything done had to come to America.
But
Anybody who
sir,
has, and
Facts.
for the most part, the Caribbean, with the very few exception, and most of them were Haitian, not Jamaican, but for the very few exception, most of anybody who has any name to stand on had to come to America to get anything done, to get any recognition, to get any progress made. America, Black Americans, stop. Black Americans are the
well,
only
can
group
I
of
ask you a
people.
question?
Stop. No, no, no. You're gonna listen. Black Americans are the only group of people who've been carrying everybody else. You want to say we all Africa? We've been having Africa on our back. And y'all don't have the right to sit up there and criticize and reprimand us and talk about how we need to be doing this and we need to be doing that and how we be giving our money to the white team man as if, okay, if that's the case, I don't know what y'all been doing. Because we don't got nothing over there to say we need to be doing what y'all doing.
What can I
But
ask you a
he
question?
comes over here to give his money to the same people. Because why you over here? If that's the case, you want us to drop
Yeah,
our
if y'all
flag so
got
you
it
can
like
wave
that,
your
y'all
flag
wouldn't
on our
believe it.
land.
Why are you in a
But can
Jamaican
I ask
group
But
talking
go
a
about
Why
what
ahead,
you
go
y'all
question?
ahead,
here?
finna do?
go ahead.
I want to ask the host a question because the only reason I don't have Marcus Garvey flag up here is because they don't have the emoji for it. But Garvey created
Right.
the flag that united all
Yeah.
of us. Just in case y'all
Hmm.
forgot.
Yeah,
And the
but they have
second
the
thing
colors.
is,
They have the colors though.
and the second thing I wanted to say was, if it wasn't for a lot of people come to America because of American politics. If y'all wasn't over there in Libya or in Africa trying to blow
I
up
can't do
Burkina
what he's saying.
Faso and destabilize our countries with
Bro.
colonialization, we would have no reason to be
Who
over
is
here.
y'all? You said y'all. Who is
Why do
y'all?
The
we
American
Who
who
is y'all? Who
government.
is y'all? Because
The,
let's be honest. No,
he
stop.
weird.
Because let's be honest. You talk about Burkina Faso. If we want to talk about the world, if we want to talk about what group of people who has been standing up for Africa the most, it's been us. We've been the ones fighting and marching against apartheid and standing with Ethiopia and standing up for Africa, the entire continent. So you sit up there talking about how we displacing y'all and doing all that stuff. The only reason you or your mother get to come here is because we had to fight for your rights in order for y'all to come here. Because the white man that you saying we giving the money to didn't want y'all over here. And we had to fight against that in order for y'all to get the chance to immigrate here.
Facts. And
Rasta,
I want to say this too. Stokely Carmichael, we know that, he had Jamaican lineage, but he even said exactly what you just said, that he saw the movement and was inspired by that because of Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. And this brother down below, his mother fled a failed nation. Y'all was giving rings and teeth and shoes to Selassie. We're praying to things that, because you were poor and it's still dirt poor and you know it. We
Right.
All
created
the countries, all the
You
HBCUs.
need to go
We
over there and
created
shave your
we
beaches.
created historical black colleges. We've created and paved the way for y'all to benefit from the backs of our, grandparents and ancestors. You
So
did
since you
nothing.
asking the question,
not
right?
not
You
not
asking the
not,
question about
not
us
you
giving.
guys.
Hold on, you asking questions about. I guess we shouldn't be going to Walmart and all that stuff, and we should be building. We should be building our own stores and stuff, as if we didn't do that, as if there wasn't a Black Wall Street before. But okay,
That was 100 years ago.
let's say we should go back to doing it.
Sir,
Let's say we should go
You
back to
you're
never
doing
still
had
it,
that.
living off
and
of
don't
that
admit
100 years ago.
how
Y'all
we
don't
messed
own
up.
nothing today.
Let
But
him.
if that's the
Yeah,
case,
we're
why
about.
y'all
Listen, let
stop?
me tell you something, Rasta.
Since you're
Rasta,
Jamaican, I have to
since
ask you this question. Hold
Marcus
on.
Garvey
Why?
The
is your
host
Hold
is
on.
is your
talking
Hold
leader,
on,
now.
right?
y'all. Everybody stop.
Oh, I'm
Everybody
sorry.
can't talk at the same time. Why you got Asians in Jamaica who own more than actual Jamaican people? You got Asians who go over there and they got reservations, they got hotels, they got stuff like that, and they own more and gain more wealth than actual Jamaicans do. Okay, since you want to talk about how we ain't got nothing going on, and we are y'all say we 13%, y'all the damn majority, and everybody who go over there do better than y'all. How's that happening? How's that working?
Probably the
You
same
ain't
reason
never
why
got a
y'all.
Black Wall Street over there.
Come
You
on.
ain't never got
What's going
anything
on?
over
What's
there.
Never.
going on
Right.
there?
I want to
Never.
We got
answer it.
people. We
I
fought.
just
We
want to
got
answer the
HBCU.
question.
We got a stuff. We still got stuff. We still got some stuff. Come on now.
Am I allowed to answer the
Hella
question?
restaurants
Go
because my
ahead. Go
family
ahead.
own
Everybody,
restaurants.
let's be quiet and let's let him answer. Go
The,
ahead.
the Chinese
Go
people.
ahead.
Kids, little bit.
Go ahead.
The Chinese people own more stuff in Jamaica more than us. Is the same reason why every last single race in America owns more land than the African Americans.
And
You
why is
guys
that?
are because you
Guys.
guys
Why is
are
that?
last in every category. You're last.
But why are you
Every
No,
here?
no, no,
category
no, no.
Why do y'all
Let him
come
go.
here?
Let him go. Let him go. Why is that?
Oof.
because of the same reason for us. Because of colonialism and racism.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, how do you? If we're all in the same position. We're all in the same boat. Let's say that's not really true, but let's say that. How do you feel like you have the right to sit up here and criticize anybody? How is somebody who's also alongside us in last place got the right to sit up there and
Oof.
criticize somebody
That's a
Okay,
word.
in last
I'll
place?
tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. The Jamaicans and the Africans, they, like I said, they take their money and they make it count. But when I see FBA,
If we make
hold
it
on, sir.
count,
He
Hold on. I
make
asked
just
it
want
you
to
a
count. Hold
land.
on.
I just want
question
to
that
If
land. I
y'all
just
make
want to
it count,
land. I just
okay.
want to land real quick. That's
No,
all.
hold on. No. You're not gonna
Like,
just say that.
please.
You gotta
Oh
see.
Y'all
You
my
gotta
make
keep the
it
God.
focus
count
on
how?
Jamaica.
How do you make it count? No, don't say that and then skip past it. How do
Because
y'all make it count?
because all the Jamaicans that I know, all the African, Nigerian doctors, and everybody else I know, they building up and they own shit. The African
how
Americans
long
are
that's gonna be
bragging
for?
about Gucci, Louis, Prada,
They
Sir,
Fendi.
do
own
you
what
know
do
we
they
the
Y'all
own?
richest
No,
out
don't
the
hold on,
whole
own
stop,
black
nothing.
stop.
Well, you know
diaspora? What are
Everybody
you
what?
cannot.
talking about?
We're gonna
Everybody
accept
cannot
that
stop.
because
Stop.
Y'all
What do
got
they own?
diamond chains. Y'all don't own
No,
shit.
no. What do the Jamaican doctors and all of that? What do they own?
They own, first of all, they own, if you look at the statistics, the Nigerian Americans, they own their homes, they own property, they own land. The definition of a peasant is somebody that does not own land. FBAs
Okay.
are peasants. You're renters. You own
The
nothing.
statistics say Nigerians own property and own. Do Black Americans not own any property in any land or anything?
Based on our percentages, only 10% of your population is landowners. Look,
Okay, so
so
Google
he's
how
it.
many
wrong. He's
Okay,
people
wrong.
hold
He's
on,
is
hold
absolutely
it?
on.
What's
lying.
the
So
percentage of
hold
our
on. First
presence?
off, based off the percentage, only 10% of us are landowners. And what are the percentages of now you're caping for Nigeria? But what are the percentages of Nigerians that are landowners?
Yeah, the Nigerian Americans, 75% of them own the homes that they live in. You can Google it.
Oh my God, this man is
First off, that
lying.
75% of Nigerians own the homes that they live in.
Nigerian Americans, don't compare yourself to a country that make five. See, what FBAs do to make themselves feel good, they want to compare themselves to people that do not have the same
No,
opportunity.
because
Hold
here's
on, hold
Oh,
on, hold on. Hold on. Compare yourself to
no.
Nigerian
Stop.
Americans.
Be quiet.
The Nigerian Americans come over here and run circles around you. You guys,
No. Here's the thing, because y'all keep sitting up there boosting y'all chest up. First off, if we believe those statistics, I don't. Those statistics are not the truth whatsoever. But if we believe those statistics, why don't y'all own nothing in your homeland? That's the crazy
Because I
thing.
just told
Y'all got stuff. Y'all
colonialism.
be having y'all asses whooped by
How do
5 foot
you
Asians.
have a reason
Y'all
as
have
to
y'all
why y'all
asses
don't
being
own
beat
your
Do
by
you know
own
what
5 foot
land?
Asians,
colonialism
And you said
is?
and then y'all gonna
colonial?
come over here. Y'all don't own anything that we have not done. Y'all not doing nothing. Y'all not setting no stepping stones. Y'all not opening no doors. Y'all are literally not doing anything
You
that
want to
we have
bet a
not
galaxy?
done
Because I got Chat
generations
GPT.
before you guys. Y'all doing stuff that y'all couldn't do in your homeland. And yeah, y'all can flex on your homeland. Y'all can't
But we
flex on
flexing
us.
on
We
you
set
too.
the
We own
precedent.
more land
We
than
set the
you.
precedent. What do Jamaicans own?
Nigeria,
I
Jamaican
want to know,
Americans
do you
own
not
more
know that
land
black
than you.
Americans are the richest out the whole
Jamaican Americans
diaspora? We have
own
more
land where? What
millionaires
do
and
Jamaican
billionaires
Americans
than
hold
y'all.
on?
What is you talking
Halo,
about?
Halo, Halo. What do Jamaican Americans own?
Per capita, Jamaican Americans
No,
own more
no,
land than
no,
you.
no, 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 no. What do
No.
Jamaican Americans own in America?
More land and businesses per capita than you.
More land and businesses per capita. Okay,
Yes,
and
per.
that's
Don't
as
forget
true.
per
That's not.
capita. That's the magic word, per capita.
And
Yo, why do
why
you need
per?
per
Okay,
capita?
okay, per capita. And why per capita are Asians in Jamaica whooping y'all ass per capita?
I just told you for the third time,
No, no, no,
colonialism
no, no,
and
no. You
racism.
don't get to that's see, notice that, y'all. Notice how you move in the goalpost. Okay? You move in the goalpost. Oh, it's per capita when you get to flex on us.
We don't
But
got the
then
same
when it's Asians,
opportunities
no, when it's Asians going to y'all
Why you
homeland
don't
beating
have
the
the
shit
same
out y'all,
opportunities?
now all
because
of a
he
sudden
compared
now you
Why,
got all
Jamaica.
these
Rasta?
Y'all
excuses.
compare the
Rasta.
Americans. Compare
No, no,
Jamaican Americans.
no.
No,
We gonna
Given the
you
same
said stop.
opportunities, we
Nope,
run
stop,
laps around.
stop, stop. No,
Rasta.
be quiet,
Given the
dude.
same
Rasta, I have a
No,
opportunities,
question. I have a
we
real question.
no, because we're not gonna sit up there and be all like, "Oh, per capita," and they notice that per
Rasta.
capita is their little dog whistle loophole thing. It's a little talking point loophole that they use only when they try to
Rasta.
skew the numbers to flex on
Who
us.
gave y'all these
It's
opportunities
skewing the
somewhere?
numbers to flex on us. We
Who?
fought for the rights for y'all to come over here, and then there's some per capita. Y'all, we doing better than y'all per capita.
But he
But per
said
capita,
the reason they
Asians
don't
and
own
whites.
anything is
Wait,
because they
hold
don't
on,
have the same
hold on,
opportunities.
hold on, everybody. Per capita, Asians and whites own more than them in their homeland where they are the majority. Okay, we are not the majority here. They're the majority there, and
South
yet they
Africa
own the
did it
least
too.
of
That's why they
everything.
locked up
No, no,
Mandela.
no, you can't do that. And yet y'all own the least of everything. And yet y'all don't want to use the per capita excuse with Asians running stuff in Jamaica or whites or Indians running stuff in Jamaica, do you?
We can do per capita. I admitted
Then
that you
what?
was right.
Explain that then. Explain it
I
then.
said it colonialism and racism. I said you was right,
No,
but
no.
given
Okay, so you can't
I
use that
said you
excuse
was
either.
right, bro.
You can't use that excuse here then.
Given the same opportunities, Jamaicans and Nigerians run laps around FBA. You guys are not competing with
Y'all
us
not
on
running
no
laps.
level.
No, y'all
Given
not
the,
running laps. Y'all not running laps. Y'all not out here doing
given the same
anything.
opportunities, we have data that shows it. You
I
guys
got
don't
a
even
question for
own
No,
him. Do
land.
you
first off,
not? Do you
actually,
not know?
y'all
I got
don't. Stop, and I'm gonna drop you. I'm gonna drop you because we're gonna move on. We're gonna move
no. Do
on.
he
I had
not
a
know that
question
we the
for him.
richest,
Yeah, I had a
richest out the whole
question.
black diaspora? We got more millionaires and billionaires than them. They're not doing better than us. I don't know
You
what
talking
lie he
about
coming
per
up here to
capita?
tell.
Per capita, we do better than our top 10 beats everybody else's top 10. Point blank period.
Absolutely.
Everybody else in the world. Our top 20, our top 25, our top 50. We be beating everybody else in the world. Ain't no per capita y'all doing better than us. Y'all have more
Hmm.
businesses than us. Y'all don't. Y'all don't. And
Right.
y'all wouldn't have shit if it wasn't for us.
Facts. And black women, we hold the most master's degrees and doctorates in the country right now. We are the number
I
one. We
was just
lead in
gonna say that.
education.
You got to say
Now
Black
Hmm
American
hold
because they gonna
on.
think it's
What?
them.
Black American. Yeah.
Right. FBA.
Hold on, because I
BL
wanted to
BLK
speak to him
people.
about the ownership because black people own a lot. Okay, worldwide technology, Bridgewater Interiors, Act One, Red Bay Coffee, Black Girl Sunscreen, Modular Assembly Innovations, the Honeypot Company, Partake Food, Tea Party, Carol's Daughters. I could go on and on and on. And actually, studies show that in addition to black women having the most master's degrees in
Black American.
entrepreneurship, Right. But in entrepreneurship, Black American women are leading the race. And that's all I wanted to say, because I don't understand where we get from Black people don't own anything when we literally make up, what, 13% of the population as far
Honestly,
as
his
Black
whole talking point
people
was
in
jealous
America,
and
but
envy.
Black women are leading the race in education and entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
And studies
So,
show
so,
that.
so while he was saying stats, I just kind of wanted to level set the conversation and fact checked. I fact checked it. So look, 45% of Black Americans own their homes. Now we know why more Black people don't, but that's 45%. All right. And then Nigerian Americans, I looked it up for what he said as it relates to Nigerian Americans. So first of all, the information didn't even populate. So what that means is that it's so low, or they're not tracking it that way, or whatever it is they're doing. But the bottom line is that what they did get grouped under the rest of the immigrants, and basically it says Black immigrants own about 42% of Black immigrants own their homes. So 42% versus 45%, that's still relatively close. So basically that dude was just coming up here saying stuff that he heard from white people, or basically they whatever they say in their own little circles. And the bottom line
Yeah.
is that he kept saying colonialism and racism. I don't know why everybody has this. I call it sob story, right? About why they had to leave their country and come to the United States. And it's very interesting that everybody has this story of, and it doesn't matter. It's from the Caribbean, from Africa, Central and South America, the Hispanics, all Asia, wherever they come from, they all got this sob story about how the United States went all the way over to their country, 2,000, 1,000, or 3,000 miles to go interfere and mess up their country. And for some reason, they can't figure out or understand that Black Americans had to deal with that same sabotage right here in their own country.
Thank you. As
So
if
so
America didn't
so
mess
you you,
America
you
up.
so and when I say the USA, it's basically Western powers, because it could be French or British or whatever. But my whole point is that every immigrant has the same sob story about how somebody else came into their country and messed it up. But when it comes to Black Americans, when everybody else comes into our area and messes it up and tears it up and burns it down or destroys it or takes it from us or forces us off our land at gunpoint, then all of a sudden none of that counts.
Yeah, notice what, and this is why, and I noticed they come in talking about we all need to unify, and make them a little bit mad, make these people a little bit mad,
I
and he'll
literally
show
just
you
said that.
their
Hmm.
disdain. All of this, we all need to
Yes.
unify and we all need to come together. All that, they don't believe in none of that. Notice the fact that he kept moving the goal line, and when he brought up, oh, we got stores and neighborhoods. I'm like, we have a whole Black neighborhoods, Black Wall Street. Oh, that was 100 years ago. Also, our destabilization by the government, by the American government and colonization, that don't count. Y'all's count. You
But
can use that. The immigrants feel like they can use that as an excuse, but what we have in our history, we can't use as a legitimate excuse as to why we don't own anything.
But
Well,
Oh,
hold on,
it's not even
let
that. The
me just say this,
destabilization is
because
never.
I've dated several Jamaicans. So let me just say this: their system doesn't operate like our system. You can literally in Jamaica go find a plot of land, pinch a tent, and sell some chickens. Okay, we have to go through a rigmarole of paperwork and everything else to make our businesses legitimate, right? But if there's some if you find a vacant lot in Jamaica, you could just go over there, nail up a shack, and all of a sudden you could start selling whatever you want out of that shack, and you could call it a business. So when we break this down to brass taxes, my question to him was going to be, how many of those businesses are actually legitimate and documented? Because there's a ton of people over there that got businesses, but they're not legitimate and documented. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, and not only that, basically, even if you just pick a spot that's vacant and set it up, somebody else will come in and take it who has money, because that's exactly what's happening over in those types of
Correct.
countries. And they look. Somebody mentioned it already. You have Jamaicans, native-born Jamaicans that can't go to their own beaches. They cannot go to their own beaches. There's documentaries on it. I'm not, and this is not me. This is not me clowning them. This is not me making fun of them. I think it's actually a tragedy. But the thing is that what you cannot do is come and talk to us about what it is we got going on and this, that, and the third. When we understand what our issues and problems are, and at the bottom line, I actually was telling somebody this. Look, get racism out of the way, get the sabotage and the undermining and all this other stuff out of the way, and watch Black people do their thing. But if as long as that stuff is going on, and everybody, and the part of the other problem too is that people like him who are have FBA, have whatever, some immigrant, whatever, Those are part of the. They're part of the group that actually come in and helps as part of the sabotage.
Yep.
So it's just amazing. Everything negative applies to us, but none of that applies to them. And I don't even look. This is not even funny. I don't even like talking about because we do. We have to talk about issues and problems about fathers not in the homes, baby mamas, and all this other stuff. 90% of they got a 90% out of wedlock birth rate over there in Jamaica. I know he did. I know he didn't. I know he didn't come up here and talk about a baby mama problem. They got 90% of those kids are born out of wedlock over there. I'm not making fun of them. I don't like bringing it up. And the only reason I would even bring it up is if somebody tries to come and shoot at us about what it is we got going on. Let us, if that's a problem with us, then you let us talk about it and deal with it as it relates to us, and everybody else can stay out of it. They're over there. You got
And they
Arabs,
relate to their
Chinese
own
men, and
problems.
Asians over there in Africa, and European men running wild over there in Africa, creating babies all over the place. It is so bad. It is so bad over there
Yep.
in some of those countries that they're actually collecting the hundreds of thousands of kids that have been born to these foreign men, these Europeans, Asian, and Arab men, and they're trying to sue these countries to get these fathers to recognize these kids. They come over there, they run all over the place, they're interacting with those women, they make babies everywhere, they abandon those kids, and then they try to track these fathers down. Like that is a rampant problem, and I'm not gonna say all over Africa, but there's some countries have it worse than others. Can't
You know
nobody
what,
talk
Hope?
about what Black
Thank
Americans are
you
doing when it
for
comes to
Well,
that.
not only that,
thank
they
you for
have a
bringing
Hold
me
on,
problem
hold
with
on.
up.
We
who
gotta
they
let
can
some
come
other
in
people speak.
too.
Hold on. We gotta let some other people speak.
Thank you
Everybody
for
ain't got to
thank you
speak.
for bringing me up, host. But I just don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's going on here. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I came in. We got a lady on here crying and pouring her heart out and acting like she's having a nervous breakdown, talking about she love her people, and
I
yet
do love
Hold
my
somebody
on.
people.
Let her
And
go.
you
Let her
can't
go.
shade.
somebody come up here, which I get it. The guy was out of line. I see him troll on different other pages. I didn't seen a whole lot with that character. But at the same time, when do we all come together and love one another? I get it. This person, that person's an immigrant, this and this and that. But it's like at the end of the day, look at what just happened to our Haitian people. They have been
It's
taken
our people.
Hold on. Go ahead. Let her go.
took in and gave him back, and they even had their cards. Like this is
You said
crazy.
they've been taken and given back.
Yeah, going through the deportation. Did you not see that? A lot of my Haitian people were just taken, and they had their visas. I don't know why our
You
people
mean?
aren't
Do
doing
you
it.
mean people? Do you mean people who are here under the guise of a temporary protected status that's just been lifted?
It just
Those are the Haitian people you're referring to.
and I get that. I understand that, but
No,
regardless,
no, 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 because
those,
that's not what you said,
those,
though. That's not what you, ma'am. That's
those,
not what you said,
that's
ma'am. Hold on now. Hold on now. That's not what you said. That's not what you said. You said that they have their visas. No, they are here not under a visa. They are here under temporary protected status.
From
So
what I
let's
seen,
just tell the truth.
they had their visas. Can I just land my plane, please? They had their visas, regardless of the fact. What I'm trying to get you guys to understand, we're all black, and those are our people. Our people are going through the immigration state.
Those are not my
Hold
people.
on, no, 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 no. Let her go. Let her go.
Are going through the immigration issues as well, and it's just crazy and fake to see. And I sat back and I listened, just like Halo, you, everybody, our people, and come together. This is
Don't call me out, baby.
our people.
Halo,
We
let her
never
go.
said our
You
people,
guys
our
are running
Let
your
her
people.
go.
mouth.
Let her
At
go.
the end of the day, these are our people. We're all black, and you guys are
Okay, and
talking
we're
so much.
okay. For
No one
context,
can
ma'am.
even want you guys here. No way.
For
At the end
context,
of
Can
the
ma'am.
day,
I ask
For
a
context,
question?
everybody stop. Because if y'all interrupt again, I'm dropping you. Okay.
she has no
For,
respect. She's been
for
in a.
context, ma'am. Okay. Your race and ethnicity. Okay.
I am Creole.
You're
I'm
Creole.
Creole.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm light skinned
How
with
long have you
curly
been
hair.
in this live?
Creole.
How long have you been in the live?
I got in the live when that lady was on there crying and talking about her grandma and people coming together and all this old, what seems to be
Why
now.
is you trying to make fun of her?
What seems
Okay,
to be
no,
Yeah,
going.
she
Halo.
literally, hold on,
Halo,
hold
because
on,
I'm
I
y'all
had to
need
saying,
to
defend
I'm
have
saying
y'all
what
myself.
need to
I'm
have some
saying.
discipline. Cut it
You
out.
sit on here crying, and then
Ma'am.
now all of a
Stop
sudden it took
addressing
one
her. Stop
person to come
addressing
on
her.
here and
Okay.
speak ignorantly.
Go ahead, ma'am. Who you're Creole. Okay, go ahead.
You
Miss
came on
Trina.
here. I just wanna land my plane with her because she's trying to go hard and make it seem
No,
like
she's
I'm the
not. You keep
liar.
addressing
She
people. You
is, but
keep
I'm
addressing the other
addressing with
speakers.
facts. You
No,
guys are
ma'am. I'm
addressing
not
No,
trying to
things
go
that you're
hard. I'm
no,
telling you why I
no.
cried.
You're being
And I have the right to
condescending.
cry.
You're being condescending, and you're addressing the other speakers. So you address me or the
I'm gonna call it out how I see it. If you fake, you fake. A spade, a
okay.
spade.
Now here's the thing, ma'am. Here's the thing, and this is why people are done, and this is why
And hold
people.
on, let me get this
No,
right.
no,
Hold
I'm
on,
not
I
gonna
just
let
want
you
to
do a damn thing.
Can I
No,
ask a question
no,
to
I just
no.
her?
want
You
to answer to your
everybody
comment.
stop
I just
because
want to answer.
here.
Girl, you
No,
really sat
everybody
here.
stop.
When you read the Bible, yes, I am what my father is. I am Haitian.
Okay. Oh, thank
I
you.
mean, so
You're
what is my
Haitian.
what,
You
my
ain't a
Thank
Louisiana
you
Creole,
I'm a
do
very
it?
Hebrew
much.
Israelite. So
Thank you
yes, I
very
read the
much.
Bible.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
and what
Now
does
be
that matter?
quiet.
People in the
Now
comments
be quiet, user. Be quiet. Cut it out. You don't even got a profile. Okay. And if you cut, you want to speak.
sucked
You
it.
want to speak or you want to get dropped. Okay. Notice she's gone. Now she's dissing everybody else. Oh, she was crying. She was doing that. Now, when the other immigrant came in here and he started, and first off, she's been in here longer. Okay. I saw when she first requested, and then she stopped, and then she requested again. I saw that. So that's why I asked how long you been in here, and she told a lie again. I know she's been in here for a very long time, and she's seen all the disrespect that we faced, and she didn't say anything about that. Now she's talking about, oh, we need to unify and they're deporting people. Well, if it's people like Rasta, I don't see why we need to fight for niggas like him to be here. If we're gonna be honest, you sitting up there, yeah, when are we gonna love each other and when are we gonna do it? You mean when are we gonna help you? Because your people who are Haitian are getting your temporary protective status removed. So all of this love each other means AKA help me. And no, with that disrespect, you came in here, you addressed another speaker who didn't say nothing to you or about you or anything. Oh, and then people up here crying and all that stuff. And the first thing you came up here and did with your tether ass is lie. You first off, you tried to imply you are a black American. Okay. It took us a minute for us to get out the fact that you're Haitian. All right. You came here saying their visas and folks is getting their rights taken away. No. And all of the lying, the bullshit, you allowed him to come up and disrespect because y'all think y'all got some immigrant alliance. We'll take y'all immigrant alliance back to the Caribbean. Then. If it's like that, then do that. Y'all can have y'all immigrant alliance. Y'all can have y'all per capita wealth and whatever the fuck y'all think y'all get. Y'all can have all of that stuff in your homeland. And we'll just see. You sitting up there, y'all came up here, y'all will brag. Y'all will brag. And no, this ain't no disrespect because y'all will come here and brag about how much better you're doing. And then we say, we'll do that at home. And then y'all want to cry foul. No, it don't work that way. All this turning the other cheek because we don't want y'all feelings to get hurt is over with. Y'all, every single y'all have come here bragging about our culture being this and we doing better than y'all and how we got it together. And I'm all like, okay, well, why don't y'all get it together home? Oh, it's not like that. Oh, the government. Oh, colonial. No, 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 no.
Times are
Because when it
changing,
comes to
man.
us, y'all don't be playing no games and trying to let us
Can
get
I
away with no
address her
passes, no excuses,
since you
or
pointed
nothing.
me out?
So if it's cold turkey, we need to get it out the mud. Y'all need to get it out the mud. If we don't got no excuse, y'all don't got no excuse. And we're not gonna play this game where we move in the standard based off y'all convenience.
So
Can
one of the
I
problems
address her
with
about that,
with the
Kwame?
immigrant
There are
comparison
literally
is
thousands
basically
of black-owned businesses. There are literally thousands black farmers. The USDA awarded a 1.25 billion to black farmers
Hold on, but
alone.
let me get hold on before we go. Let me get to Samara. She
But we
has I
don't
don't
own
think.
land though.
Yeah, yeah. What's up, y'all? I'm just here. I only have one question, and I'm not here for over talking. I'm very open. I'm Black American. I'm not an immigrant. I'm gonna repeat that because there's a lot of people in the comments think I'm an immigrant. I'm Black American. I'm Gullah Geechee. I'm from South Carolina. Okay. My only question about FBA is what is the ultimate goal about our number one enemy? It's a lot of lies that I see on TikTok, and today I had to join because I'm just like I don't understand the animosity. We're like keeping this animosity between each other. It's just not helping anything. I mean, I understand being a black American and what we hear and them being opinionated and they come over here, they have all this shit towards us and da 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 and they think they better, they want to join the white man, da 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 da. But I just want to know from y'all, since y'all, this is y'all thing. I'm black American. I just don't subscribe to things that I deem
You've
as
been up here this
divisive.
whole time.
Yeah, I'm offended speaking too. So my question is, what is y'all goal to
I'm the
take
wrong
out the
one,
oppressor?
sweetheart.
Halo. Okay, well,
I only
the
have a
thing
question
is
because I'm
that
about to go to sleep. So y'all,
okay,
somebody can
well,
answer that for me.
the thing is, sister, the thing is that FBA is a lineage. There are different people who have different goals in a lineage, but nobody asks, okay, what is the goal of Nigeria? What is the goal of Jamaica? What
I'm
is the
not
goal
talking about them.
you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
talking
So
about
you can't
us.
ask what is the goal of Black America. We're a lineage of
Yes,
people.
I can because we Black
No,
American.
you
What is the
cannot.
goal?
No, you
Yes,
cannot.
You're not
what?
Because
asking. You're
Why
not
can't
asking
I?
anything.
if I
We
asked
can
you,
tell
It
you.
ma'am,
doesn't make
what?
sense.
No,
We Black
ma'am.
American.
No, ma'am. Because Black Americans, we're not a monolith. Okay. Now, a lot of us have a common goal, but we're not a monolith. I can't
I'll let you
speak for
finish.
all of us. I can speak for myself and people who I talk to. I can't
Speak for
speak for
yourself in the
quarters
FBA
of
organization.
family.
What is your
No,
goal to take
no,
out
there
enemy
is
number
no
one?
Not an
That's my question.
organization.
It's not an
I think
that's
organization.
why
everyone
I
is
said
enemy
we are a
number one.
Like,
lineage.
go to
There's
bed.
no organization.
Kevin.
Organizations have goals.
Black
FBA
American.
is not an organization.
Proud.
We don't have a goal. Just like Jamaica is not an organization, Haiti is not an organization, South Africa, Nigeria, these are not organizations. You wouldn't go to Nigeria and be like, what are the goals? What is the goal of
Hmm.
Nigeria? You wouldn't ask them that. You wouldn't ask
You
Jamaica or
misunderstanding me, so
Trinidad.
that's why I
What
want to land my plane. You're misunderstanding me. You're misunderstanding me.
No,
We're
you're not
not an
making no
organization.
sense.
Now, are you not letting me finish?
You're not
He's not
making
even letting me
sense.
No,
finish
you asked
talking.
the
Y'all not
question.
letting
The
me
question didn't make
finish.
sense. Go
Y'all
ahead.
don't let nobody
Go
finish.
ahead.
If
Go
y'all,
to sleep.
okay, I get it. If I get it, y'all not an organization. Y'all just taking on FBA.
Okay.
You saying it's a lineage. So I'm saying all I see is a lot of animosity towards people that look like us. So I'm saying as this lineage, what is the goal towards our number one enemy? It's only that. I respect y'all. I'm a
We got
black
many of
American. I don't
enemies.
Okay,
prefer.
stop.
No. Oh. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna let you finish uninterrupted. Nobody interrupt her. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Gullah Geechee, so I don't understand the comments in this
What?
live saying that I'm cosplaying. I'm a black
Just go.
American. So
Just talk to
my
me. Just talk to
question
me.
is, my question. Because I'm really trying to have an
Can I
understanding.
ask a
I let
question though?
me finish, please. Let me finish.
Let her go.
What?
What I'm
Don't
saying
interrupt
is,
her.
I acknowledge and stand in my confidence as a Black American. We have accomplished a lot of amazing things, and if it wasn't for us setting the bar, we are the best of the best after the transatlantic slaves. So don't come at me like I'm cosplaying. I'm really trying to understand what is the goal behind steady being in a beef with our people. I don't understand that. Yes, we can call them out all day about how they think they're better than us, et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm saying is,
Legitimate
what is the goal?
question.
What all this animosity towards Whitey? Yeah. What my question is, what you got for him? And then I'm gonna go to
Okay.
bed.
Okay. Maybe you don't know who I am. Let me introduce you. I'm Afro Elite. I have a YouTube channel which is much bigger than him. And I talk about white supremacy all of the time. Okay? Whether that's conservative, liberals, I talk about hate crimes that black people face all of the time. We do that here all of the time. We talked about the situation with Carmelo Anthony. We talked about other situations of other police brutality. And so all of this, we don't talk about the white man. That's not true. We talk about that. We advocate for reparations and things like that all of the time. So maybe you might not know who we are, and I'm being as respectful as possible, but this is something that we do. Now, one of the things, now you want to talk about what the goal is as far as maybe myself, I can speak for myself. I can't speak on behalf of everybody in the lineage, but this is a part of my goal to ultimately replace dismantle white supremacy. One of the things that is necessary with that is when it comes to our group of people, even if there are people who look like us, if those people who look like us are walking in a wrong direction or are walking in the opposite direction, walking against the grain and making it harder for us to do what we need to do, then we need to address that, because you will have people who look like us and make the job harder. And this is something that we have been recognizing with delineation. There are people who got black skin, black hair, black features, and they're among us. And some of them are from the lineage, some of them are not, but they're among us and they make the job harder. And these people need to be addressed right now,
Okay.
because we can't progress a movement if you got inside agents
Okay.
who are sabotaging. So this is what we need to address. Now, when it
Okay.
comes to situations like why they're mad, now, we say we beating up on them. They've been making spaces, and I've seen spaces all day with FBA in the title all day
I'm
about
not
how
saying that they
we
don't.
this
I'm
and
not
we
saying
that.
that they don't.
So it's
I'm
a
not
lot
saying
of
that they don't.
okay. So it's a lot of back and forth. But what the thing is that we got to acknowledge these things, because these are the people who will get up here and reinforce negative stereotypes about Black Americans in
Can I
particular that makes our job harder.
can I
One
ask a
of the
question?
examples, hold on, one of the examples is the whole, well, we don't know what to do with our money and we give our money away and we waste our money and we don't know what to do and stuff like that. That is a talking point that the conservatives and the alt-right use to argue against reparations. So when they come out here and with their black skin, and when they come out here and they reinforce those stereotypes and those alt-right talking points to big themselves up, it makes our job harder. They come here and they sit up there and they assimilate in this buffer class to say, well, we get it, so it's not racism, it's not the system, because we get it, it's just you guys. It's no oppression over here. That you got Myron Gaines and all Candace Owens and all of them who will come here, immigrants who will come here and boast about that, and they're put in positions that make it harder for us as a collective. So yes, calling them out is very necessary.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
divisive, but that division is necessary for the progression of the rest of the group.
And they're the ones causing the division, by the way, not Black Americans.
I
Well
They're the
get
ones
it.
said.
causing
I
the
Well
totally
chaos
said.
get it.
agents are the ones who are being divisive.
I totally get it. I'm
Because
not
you know
disagreeing.
what, they ain't being divisive. They're
Hold
not
on,
over
hold
there
on.
trying to divide white people. They're not over there trying to divide Asians. They're not over there trying to divide Hispanics. You got black people with black skin that look like us running around here doing everything they can to undermine what it is we're trying to do as a collective.
Now hold
Everybody
on.
needs to
Let's let
get
her
up
go.
out of
Let's let
our
her go.
way.
Let's let her
Everybody
go.
needs to get up out of our way for whatever
Hold
reason.
on, hold on, brother. I want you to respond to what I had to say.
Thank you. I don't disagree with what none of y'all are saying. It be them most of the time. So what I'm saying here is that I see too much engagement from us with that back and forth with them. So if we acknowledge our greatness, that's all I'm talking about. Because I'm not a part of FBA. I haven't been following it like that, but I am Black American. I just want to know what our goals are, because right now I just see a lot of back and forth with them where y'all think y'all better and you who's taller than who and this and that shit that just don't make any sense to me. So my last question is, with the falling of America and we pushing people away that look like us, like what are your opinions, number one, and what is the plan, and who are you going to depend on when it's just us versus
Well,
white in America?
let me answer
In
that
that way.
question with another question. What does it mean for someone to look like you if they don't have the same agenda?
A lot of people, we know it's 50-50 in both groups, in all groups. It's a lot. I have African friends that who understand me. So what I'm saying is, all of that, what you're saying would need to be acknowledged. It's just a 50-50 thing.
No, it's
Everybody don't
ma'am,
feel like that.
it's not 50-50. And I'm not saying we don't have no riders from the diaspora. I'm not saying that. I've always acknowledged that and given them their credit, but it's not 50-50 now. We ain't gonna do that now.
Not 50-50, not the best term, but what I'm saying is just everybody don't feel like that.
And,
So
and and I don't think anybody is making the argument that everybody does feel like that. But you're saying that, like we should be standing. I guess you're referring to the deportations that's going on.
no, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not speaking about shit about that because I'm Black American and I don't have
Okay.
no comments for that. So what I'm saying is, because of the state of America, I don't think that it's necessary to keep going back and forth with this animosity with the people who look like us, who are being divisive. That's and all that's my acknowledgement.
No, no.
That's hold on. That's my observation of FBA is that y'all spent a lot of time just going back and forth with them. Let that shit go. Focus. What do we really focus on
No, no, we
about
can't
growth
let
as a people in this
we
country?
cannot let that go. Why? It just explained why it's important for us not to let that go, because this has been a huge
Okay.
obstacle in the progress of the entire group. So we can't sit up there and be all like, okay, we'll just let them talk. We'll just
We
let
are
them do what they
no,
do.
not let them
We
talk. I
can't
called
let
them out
that
too,
happen.
baby. I called them out too. What I'm saying is, I already said it on this call. We the best of the best. So I just think it'd be too much of like stooping to their level. That's all I'm saying.
Stupid to, and how so stupid to their level?
I was on the live earlier, and you got a Black American from Florida and a Nigerian. They going back and forth for who taller and who gonna beat each other up. What we really talking about?
But this ain't this type of
And
conversation. So what are you talking
I'm gonna
about?
say
I'm
maybe
not talking to you.
you did. Hold on, y'all. Maybe you did experience that.
Go to
We do
sleep.
have to understand one thing though. This is the internet,
Halo, I am not talking to you.
and sometimes people just be wilding and arguing unnecessarily on the internet. But for the most part, when we come and I can't speak for another live, but for the most part in this live, there is a purpose to address an issue that people have. Okay, people are having an issue, and I have a panel where that issue can be addressed.
All
We
right.
do have an issue because we can't ignore that stuff, because these people will come over here. You got these people will say, well, I'm a first generation African American, as
Mhm.
if they speak for us. And then
Mhm.
next thing you know, they're turning the direction of where we're going. So
Teach
yes,
it.
that does need to be addressed. Yes, that does
Yeah,
need to be called
I
out.
agree with you.
The negative stereotypes that is used to rationalize our subjugation, and is too often used to rationalize our subjugation
But
by other immigrants from the diaspora, that also needs to
I
be
agree,
called out.
brother. I want to ask my last question that I've been on the line for 10 minutes and you haven't answered it yet. What are the plans that y'all got towards the white America who kicking our ass,
It's
man?
not an
What? Okay,
organization,
and how
I
sweetheart.
didn't
hold
Stop
say
on,
asking that.
hold on,
organization,
ma'am,
sweetie. Be
stop,
quiet.
because
I'm not fucking
Be
the,
talking to you.
you
quiet.
asked
You.
me.
It's always these gullah geechees
Hold
that's
on,
off code. Shut up.
Halo. Okay,
Hold on,
first off, I
hold
already
on.
answered
The
that.
wife
I
is
already
just
answered that.
too
I
crazy.
did. I don't know if you were not paying attention, but I already answered that. My thing is, things
I
need
don't
to
think you
happen
did.
in
It's
phases.
cool though.
Things need
I
to
love
happen
y'all.
in steps. But if you want to acknowledge that, our big thing, we talk about reparations all of the time. We talk about black economics all of the time. We talk about
You sending
addressing
that
the
to
thing.
Whitey though? That's what I'm
Huh?
asking you. Are you sending
Yes.
that to
Are you not
Whitey?
paying
Hold
attention?
on. See, okay. What did you just say?
You want overnight
No, go
success?
ahead.
Is that
Go
what
ahead.
I'm
What did you
hearing?
just say,
You want
ma'am?
No,
overnight
you don't know what
success?
I'm talking
No,
That's
go
about.
all.
I'm
ahead,
asking you.
Ma'am,
I'm
you
asking you. Be quiet. I'm asking you from a sense of the observation that I said that I see FBA do all the time. It's a lot of nagging and going back and
continue
forth.
doing what you're doing
Stop,
as a black
stop, stop,
American. That's positive.
stop. Hold on. Go. You're saying. Keep saying. Say that one more time. Nobody interrupt her. I can't hear what she's saying. Everybody can't talk at the same time. What did you just say?
I'm basing my question off of observation that I see FBA engage in online or wherever. It's just animosity. Well, it's about going back and forth. I don't see a progressiveness in that. And maybe you answered this already. So my last comment is going to be for Halo. Do not come from my culture because I know where I am and I know
Bitch,
where I'm
I'll slap
from.
your whole ass. Shut
Yeah.
the
Halo,
fuck
So
up talking
DM
to
me
me.
then. DM
You
me.
can't say
DM
that,
me.
Halo.
Same
DM me
person who
then.
said
You
don't go
probably in
back and
Detroit or
forth. That's
somewhere,
Please
what
crazy.
it sound
stop.
like. You don't know
Please
who the
stop
fuck
with the
you
back
are.
and forth.
Come
Okay.
down south,
Fucking voice
baby.
ass.
Okay.
Use
And
your voice shaking.
as
Shut up
somebody
talking to
who's
me.
just calling for unity. Now, here's the thing.
And interrupted me
And
three fucking times and you ain't got shit to say.
okay.
What's up?
Here's the thing. Hold on. Before
Girl,
you
I'll
go,
pull
because
them
I know
dreads
you're
out
gonna
your
get
dyke
mad.
ass head. Shut up
Hold
talking
on.
to me.
Hold on.
That's the point.
If
Go
y'all don't
ahead.
stop, now you just said, what is our goals? At first, I had to establish that FBA is not an organization. You called FBA organization. I said FBA ain't no organization. Then I said, okay, well, I can speak for myself. These are my goals. And because you feel like what you really want to say is that we should ease up off of the tethers and we should focus our energy on other things. And when I specified the importance of making sure we delineate and call tethers out, you acknowledge that, but but your disingenuous question you keep asking is saying, okay, well, what about the white
No,
T-man?
it's
What
genuine.
about
It's
the white
genuine.
T-man?
Hey, I
If
got
I'm
one
saying,
question.
hold on, if I'm saying that the white T-man is using tethers to undermine us and is using them to hold us back by us acknowledging his henchmen, that's also acknowledging him. Is that not true, ma'am? Do you understand it now?
Yeah, I
Because
do.
by acknowledging his strategy to
Okay.
undermine us, ultimately it acknowledges his power and dismantles his power.
Okay, good.
All right, thank you. You have a good night.
Quick question. Now, yo, number one, I gotta introduce myself. I'm Trey Mack. I'm 52 from Harlem, live in Atlanta, live coast to coast, did radio for damn near 30 years and all that. And Afro Elite, gotta shout you out. I love the movement.
Thank you.
But I do, being a cat that was raised in the 70s, into the 80s, if we're gonna formulate like a strategic like movement to attack the, what it is, you know what I'm saying? One of the first things we gotta do is self-check each other. Cause I can't, me personally, from somebody who was raised in this shit, for real, I can't honestly say that I can literally go shoulder to shoulder with anybody against anything that's an oppressor. If you've ever used terms like good hair, or she's cute for a dark skinned girl, or yeah, she's pretty. She was dark skinned, but she was pretty. That means you're already subliminally you're caught up by the opposition already. So unless you can cleanse yourself for that before you make a big move, we gotta do that. Cause all that light skin, all the colorism that we got in our own race, in our own midst, in our own ranks, that has to be called out first. Like even when I ain't calling nobody out, but even in the midst of like beefing with somebody, anytime somebody's complexion is called into play, that's a red flag, bro. Like
Have you heard that this live?
I have.
Talking about
When have you heard anybody refer to anybody's hair texture or skin
Man,
tone?
with your black, yeah, I've heard it, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm
No,
not. I'm not going to do
that's
that.
no. So you haven't heard it because that hasn't been said, sir.
No,
Respectfully,
I promise
nobody
you.
has commented on anybody's skin tone or hair texture this entire live.
No, not the head text. I'm talking about in general. But I did hear somebody say something about like a black Geechee or something to that effect or whatever it was.
Yeah,
just
but
came in and don't even know what you're
that was
talking about.
that comment wasn't in reference to no her hair color or her skin or
No, no, I
her
never. Well,
skin
let
color
me
or her
clarify.
hair.
I never said no. When I said the thing about head texture, that had nothing to do with anything that was said in here. I said
Okay.
anybody that's down with the movement that uses or have said things like that, you need to double check them first.
Okay,
What I
okay,
said
yeah,
was
okay,
Gullah
and
Geechee's
I
most
will.
likely
Yeah,
to be off
okay.
cold, nigga.
Here's hold on, Halo. Here's the thing,
Hold on, I didn't.
sir,
Well, I didn't
sir,
call nobody out. Why am
sir,
I
and
being?
I know, sir, but here's
Hold
the,
on.
and you know what? I agree, but because that has not happened at all this entire life, we're gonna cross that bridge when we come to it. How about that?
Look,
Because
I'm with it, bro. I'm with
nobody
it.
has at all brought up anybody's skin color or nobody at all has brought up
I
anybody's hair
never
texture.
said,
So
dog.
when that
I
does
said
happen, if you're saying that's the first thing we need to call out, then we'll call it out when that happens.
absolutely.
But that has not happened at all yet. So we'll
I
call
didn't
it out
say
now.
it, bro. What? Why y'all attacking me? Everybody talking
I'm
about
not
go damn
attacking you,
this, that,
sir.
and other.
You're
So it's
coming in
not
here and
you.
you're
So
throwing
it's
in
not you. It's
a
not
point
you,
that has not
Afro.
been made.
There's people in the comments. It's like go to sleep and this, and this. Didn't listen to nothing I said because I'm not saying nothing that's not logical. I mean,
Okay.
Nobody
it might
said
be.
that on his live, sir. Nobody said that. That's what, our brother's trying to tell you.
And all I'm trying to do as an elder is tell them like down the road. I didn't say nothing about this conversation about that.
Okay.
Like, if you're gonna build up a core of soldiers, you gotta watch for internal red flags. Anybody, even in passing conversation, says anything as ignorant as somebody's cute for a dark skinned girl, or she's dark but she's cute, or she got good hair, those are red flags. I didn't say nobody in here said that. I'm saying down I like what you're doing, but you gotta keep a wide eye open for the people that you're gonna consider your ally going shoulder to shoulder with. That's
Okay.
not random.
And,
That's
and,
warfare.
and
Okay,
you're
we can
not
agree to
wrong.
that.
It was just a little, I would say, off the mark, because the topic and then the things, the conversations we've had so far have not even come anywhere close to that
Boss,
conversation.
I'm not
You're
But a
wrong.
lot
talking
of
You're
that
about.
wrong. You're
rhetoric
not.
is
Nobody
coming
is saying that
from
you're wrong. But if
a,
that's what you have to contribute to the conversation, then thank you.
a
Yeah,
lot of
I'm not
that
talking
rhetoric is
about
coming
anything that
from the
happened. I'm
red
talking
pill
about
Hey,
bros
can I
now.
like
say
No,
something? I've
Myron
been waiting for a
Gaines.
minute.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you, sir.
all right, no.
All right, all right. Thank you.
And then he had his
Um,
picture up like he was cute or something.
yeah. Original
Trying to
black
give some
man.
I
grandpa
wanted to say
advice.
something just real quick. A lot of that rhetoric is coming from tethers, the Myron
Yeah,
Gaines
real
and
talk.
the
Yeah.
red pill bros, right? Like, I feel like that's why we're delineating, because that is not us. We're not Enrico Intario. We're not Myron Gaines. You know, they're speaking for us. So I think it's really important that people understand that it's not coming from FBA. It's coming from the tethers that are propagating, supremacy. They're aligning with supremacists, and they're talking and taking their talking points and trying to pretend like they're us to everybody else. So we need to delineate so we know, people know that's not us. Those are the others that are trying to, infiltrate the culture. So yeah, I think that's where he's a little confused.